tragedy, the national grief, and the mission that continues to raise difficult questions.
I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning.
We have details of that coming up in business.
IMF caps Ghana's external borrowings at $1.3 billion in a year and a new debt strategy agreement.
A match later in the National Science and Maths quiz, the regional qualifiers, historic qualification sends Pentecost Senior High School students into wild celebrations as school secures first ever national championship ticket.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud. My school. I'm proud of my school. Ecstatic. I'm so proud of us.
These and more with me, Mami Sinyamicha Thompson. Stay for details. Well, this morning, the New Patriotic Party has set the stage for a nationwide demonstration against what it describes as attacks on Ghana's democracy, judicial independence, and constitutional governance. The party says the protest themed Democracy Under Attack is expected to highlight what it describes as government selective justice, political persecution, and actions threatening democratic institutions. As national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nanabuachi.
The national demonstration is being organized in response to what we consider an emerging pattern of politically motivated persecution, selective application of justice, disregard for due process, and actions which, in our considered opinion, threaten the independence of critical democratic institutions.
Well, let's go live now to the grounds at the Supreme Court where the demonstrators, we understand, is already trooping in. My colleague Fatal Bayaga is there for us to tell us all about it. Fatal, what's the current situation at the Supreme Court?
Hundreds of police officers have stationed just in front of the Supreme Court. At the moment, just a few of the party members have arrived here. I have not seen any of the big boots of the New Patriotic Party just yet, but I must say that the police officers are here in their numbers ahead of this massive protest. And in fact, just at the entrance of the Apex Court, the police have placed some barricades in front of that. Many of them trying to maybe ward off some of the protesters as they, prepare to enter the Supreme Court itself to present a petition to the Judicial Service. So basically, at the moment, it's been calm so far, and the few, supporters who are here are clad in red and black ahead of this protest.
All right, Fatah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that one as we progress in the day. And you had there Fatal Bayaga giving us an update on that NPP demonstration. Away from that, a year after the tragic Ghana Armed Forces helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives, it reflects on the events of August 6, 2025, when a Z9 helicopter carrying senior government officials and military officers to Obuasi went down en route to the launch of the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. In this report, Nancy Kumson revisits the tragedy and its lasting impact.
As reports of a missing military helicopter began circulating, uncertainty gripped the nation. Hours later, the Ghana Armed Forces confirmed the aircraft had lost control with radar.
I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning.
The helicopter had crashed near Adamse in the Ashanti region, killing all 8 occupants. Among those who lost their lives were Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omani Boama, Environment Minister Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator Alhaji Limuna Mohammed Muniru, senior military officers and crew. The delegation had been heading to Obuasi to launch a program designed to transform Ghana's artisanal and small-scale mining sector and help curb illegal mining. As rescue teams secured the crash site, another painful reality emerged. their bodies had been burnt beyond recognition. The following day, the remains were flown to South Africa for DNA identification.
We need to do further examination and investigation just for the avoidance of doubt.
President John Mahama later addressed the nation, declaring 3 days of national mourning and announcing a national memorial in honor of the departed.
On Saturday, 9th August at 5 p.m., the nation will gather at the forecourt of the State House for an evening of reflection and memorial in honor of our departed colleagues.
On the 9th of August, families, colleagues, and state officials gathered for a national memorial service. Days later, the nation bade a final farewell at a state funeral marked by military honors, solemn tributes, and overwhelming grief.
You died knowing God, and that there is rest for you until we meet again.
1 year later, the pain of that loss remains.
Well, a year after the tragic incident, what lessons have the country learnt in the quest to fight illegal mining? Emmanuel Bright Kweku reports.
The departed 8 were on a national assignment in a renewed fight to eradicate illegal mining through the Responsible Community Mining and Skills Development Program.
On that note, the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program has been launched.
The program is a national initiative that empowers mining cooperatives and small-scale miners through training, innovation, and responsible practices. But a year after its launch, has the country won the Galamsey war at all?
If you look at the essence of what they had gone there to do, the fact that for Dr. Omanibuama and what I know that he stood for in the quest for fighting the illegality and the support that he gave the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, unfortunately, I think we have failed them, because the best testament, the best tribute that we could have paid to them was to make their blood count.
Across Ghana, in the western north, Ashanti, Central, Eastern, Bono and Ahafo regions, illegal mining is eating life away from the lands, water bodies and other natural resources. Illegal miners continue to operate with impunity, excavating the earth crust close to roads and in forest covers while local authorities watch on.
We are losing the battle of illegal mining, and we have not, as a country, we have not honored, these 8 people who have paid the ultimate price.
People who saw the need to change the status quo, to provide an alternative. They believed in the cooperative idea. If we have to honor their memory, I say, let's do it right.
And well, this morning, in honor of their memory, government will undertake a national interfaith service for them at the University of Professional Studies. And Joe News will definitely bring you all the details on that. And just before we depart, 2 children have been rescued after a fire broke out at the family house of the late former Tamale Central MP, Mutala Ibrahim, in the Doina Yili suburb of Tamale. The fire service said the place started at about 3:29 and quickly spread through the compound house, but that fire has been brought under control. And also the historic qualification of the Pentecost Senior High School Koforidua to the National Science and Maths Quiz Championship sparked wild celebrations after the competition and its first ever ticket to the national stage.
This is the kind of feeling that you can never quantify. When your school qualified for the most prestigious academic competition in Ghana here, for the first time in the school's history, I know you are excited. First time your school is going to the national. How are you feeling? I'm very, very proud. I'm very, very proud. My school, I'm proud of.
The Imani Joy News National Dialogue on Plastic Waste Management has been rescheduled to the 11th August at 10 a.m. at Silicon House. And that's all we have for you this morning on the Super Morning Show of Asat News. But then business is up next on the Super Morning Show Tuesday.
What the president?
It may be CPP, it may be PNC, it may be PMP. But what you are basically telling the country is that tomorrow, when another party is in power, we say no government will be in power forever. Even in our darkest ages, even with military rule, there was change of government. Even in military, even with guns, even when people were being dragged from their rooms and being shot in the head in this country, there was a change of government. So don't delude yourself and think that I am in power today and I'll be in power forever. There will be a change in government one day. It could even be your own party, but you will not be part of it. And that precedence of leave the people who are close to me to do what they have to do. But let me go after my opponents who are also accused of doing the same thing and incarcerate them will be used against you.
You made the point. I've heard NPP executives made the same point about, well, you will not stay in power forever. Parties will come and go. Is that to suggest that when NPP comes back to power, you would pay back, if you like?
No, I'm not. I haven't said that.
Okay.
I am saying that.
But the point is
precedence becomes law.
Okay, so you use the precedent against the NDC.
That's why I'm speaking. That's why I'm speaking against it. I'm worried about it, Evans. I'm genuinely worried about it. I don't feel safe. I won't lie to you. I told you I've written to the Chief Justice. I personally, I don't feel safe.
Why don't you feel safe?
Because I talk. I can't stop talking. I can't. I love to talk. I love to debate.
You feel your life is threatened?
No, I feel that my mouth will put me into trouble. That is what I feel. I feel that my mouth... No, I am just saying, and it's not just me. So the thousands of people who are coming on the streets tomorrow, that is how most of them feel. That if we don't have anything at all in Ghana, it is our free speech. It's our democracy. It's the fact that we are able to freely express ourselves without any fear of being targeted. That is what it is. So if you are in government today and you're excited, you are happy that some of your opponents are being targeted because you think they are loud, they have free speech and everything, you should be worried. Because what you are telling me, Miracles, is that when one day I have an opportunity to also be in government, I should also target people who are loud and are loud mouth.
Does the wound to me incarceration also feature?
What to me is a political prison. That's why there's no doubt about it.
I mean, is that also a reason?
This evening, as we speak, we have people doing Galamsey on the road to Kumasi at Konongo. They are not in jail. This evening, as we speak, on the streets going to Kumasi, Konongo roadside, people are doing Galamsey. They are not in jail.
Yeah, but you can't just put people in jail. You have to try them.
Exactly. But they are not even arrested. They are still doing it. Broad daylight in campuses on the campus of schools.
But does that justify wound to me?
No. So I am saying that flags wound to me, and then ask a question of why him.
Why him? He was found
so I leave guilty. I leave that answer.
I mean, but
there's a difference between
the court has found him.
I'm not discussing the guilt, the merit of the matter.
Why him?
No.
Why him?
I'm telling you that the merit of the matter has been discussed enough.
Yeah.
I am saying that as we speak, even the president himself said that he doesn't dispute the fact that his own government's people are involved in Galamsey. There are people in this government that have been referred to Yoko for investigation in Galamsey for over a year and a half now. They have not even been invited to be queried. The national organizer of the NDC said that nobody has even invited him. So if Chun to me is in jail for Galamsey, and we tell you that it is because of his political affiliation.
Not because you believe he's actually guilty.
The belief of guilt or otherwise, the court has determined that he is. I am saying that if you live in a society where...
Isn't that
So think about it. If you live in a society where if MPP comes to power and Miracles is doing Galamsey, he could walk free, but Evans will be jailed. You should be afraid. You should be worried. Don't be happy about it. That is all I am saying. I am telling you that if you are a citizen and if you are watching me, and that, like you are saying, if that is the case, that there are people in this government that are neck deep in Galamsey to the extent that they've been referred to the security agencies. No, I'm not saying they've been referred to the security agencies, but they have not even been invited. The gentleman said it himself. He has not even been invited, but there has been a fast track within 6 months incarceration of an opponent who is also accused of Galamsey. Be worried because the precedence is being set. See, when it is happening to me, you may think that because it's happening to me, it doesn't matter. But once it becomes a convention, once it is done and it becomes a precedence, everybody is taking a cue from it. So next time, it will be used against you. And what is being used against you, do you know what will be the reference point? The one that was being done to others and you did not speak about. That is what will be used as a reference point against you. All we are saying is that let's protect our democracy and make it fair for everybody. Because you don't know when you will be the one in front of the barrel of the gun. That's what we are saying. So don't be so happy today because it's been done to other people. Those people, none of them have been proven guilty for anything yet. They are in court. You understand? So don't be so happy. Ask yourself, hey, if this thing should be used against me, what would I do?
I mean, what thing though? I mean, they are being tried before a court of competence.
Your morning show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Good morning once again. If you just tuned in, this is the Super Morning Show. Just gone by was the news at 6, brought to you by Mamesi Nyamiche Thompson. And the news at 6 is sponsored by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Your story matters. Yesterday I was at Absa. I was in their new building for the first time. Wow. I loved every bit of the building. I went to the rooftop as well. And let me say good morning to Silfua, Cyril, Priscilla, and the whole team at Absa. Great job, Absa. And James Eshen is here with the Joy Business Report. Uncle James, good morning.
Akoto. What? Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good yourself.
I'm great. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's a new week. Fuel prices went up. They've come down. But there's something I've been thinking about, which actually is a contributory factor to how much we spend on fuel.
Okay. And
the potholes and the bad roads. Yesterday, about 3 listeners sent in messages about potholes and bad roads and the fact that the rains have stopped. So this is a great opportunity for urban roads, Ministry of Roads, to help us fix the potholes and the bad roads within the city so we can move better. For example, the Weja Malam SEC road. This is a great time to fix the problems because a typical drive on that stretch, which should be like 15 minutes now, is about an hour and 20 minutes. So with a 2 cedi reduction in the fuel prices, people are still paying more because they are burning more fuel. If you're able to fix these, fuel prices could even go as high as 20 cedis. But if you are spending 15 minutes on the road instead of 1 hour 20 minutes, you save on fuel, you save on time, you save on the stress. So urban roads, even feeder roads, the whole Ministry of Roads and Highways, please fix the potholes for us. The trouble spots, the Dawina people are still struggling. The contractor is on the road working, but improve the diversions. We've seen the Mrahia Road is advanced. Very soon we'll see asphalt on it. If there is anything we can do within the communities so that people can use the corner roads to get home while the construction is ongoing, let's do that so that we can save on fuel. Anyway, Joy Business Reports is brought to you by Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. James is here. James, who is getting the trumpet for the morning?
Kojo, I thought you had our trumpet for today.
You thought I had our trumpet for today?
You came up with some nice ideas.
Yesterday, we told Logas, the CEO of DVLA, that based on the improvements they've done and the amount of work they've put into the new smart licensing system, would give them the trumpet. So we'll give them the trumpet. Then later in the day, we got news that the young lady Jude Michelle has been elected the second female SRC president at KNUST.
I understand she defeated 15 other candidates.
And this is the 66th president of the KNUST SRC. Why this is important is that there was there were a lot of attacks against their person on TikTok, on social media, and it looked as though people may not vote for her, but people saw reason and voted for her. And to be the second ever KNUST SRC president, I think it's a statement for the girl child. And so, if you permit, maybe we should add Jude Michelle to the trumpet for the morning. So it goes to DVLA and the second SRC president
for KNUST.
Trumpet!
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up in this morning's bulletin, IMF caps Ghana's external borrowing at $1.3 billion in the year and a new debt strategy agreement. And economist Professor Patrick Isumen advocates new measures to check rising import to reduce a recent mounting pressure on the Ghana cedi. Also in this bulletin, more stakeholders join calls for strategic action against fraud in financial sector. We hear from the country head of consumer and commercial banking products at Eco Bank Group, William Nanadanso Abia. Welcome back to the Joy Business Report. My name is James Shen. Let's settle for the details this morning. And government can borrow up to $1.3 billion on the international capital market in the year. This is part of a new debt strategy agreement reached with the International Monetary Fund. There is more from the IMF's latest staff report.
This is part of a new arrangement to help manage Ghana's debt going forward after some significant progress was made in reducing it to some appreciable levels. Recent Bank of Ghana data has shown that the country's debt-GDP ratio has dropped to 45%, even before the 2030 deadline set by the IMF. The fund in the staff report noted that due to these restrictions, government might also have to explore concessionary borrowing to make up for the expected shortfall. The IMF believes that this new arrangement will ensure that Ghana doesn't return to that path of debt distress. However, for now, government has maintained that it is not in a rush to return to the international capital market, but rather stabilize the economy so the country can achieve some favorable credit and investment ratings before that option is considered. But the fund was also quick to add that it was worried about the levels of government domestic borrowings and how that could also affect lending to the private sector by the commercial banks.
And that was a business desk report. Now, head of finance at Meban Capital, Nelson Kojo says the Bank of Ghana's directive for all banks to reduce non-performing loans to 10% or below by December 2026 is achievable if commercial banks can take decisive action now. The Bank of Ghana issued the directive as part of measures to strengthen asset quality and financial sector stability. Speaking to Joy Business on the issue, Mr. Kwabeji identified discounting and selling of NPLs as the fastest way for banks to clean their loan books.
I mean, there is no need for you to carry those NPLs on your book, and they will make your books not looking so good, and so they can discount it. And those that are fully provisioned with the approval from the Bank of Ghana, they can also proceed to write them off. The thing is that if you have a high NPLs, what it technically means is that it will impact on your profitability and your liquidity. And so the prudent approach is either to sell them or discount them, or better still write them off when the Bank of Ghana finally gives the approval.
You heard head of finance at Meban Capital, Nelson Kojo Kwagbeji. Now, economist Professor Patrick Isumen has stated that it's time to manage the demand for dollars due to high importation of basic goods. The Bank of Ghana is set to inject up to $1 billion into the foreign exchange market this month through its forex intermediation program, as the Ghana cedi faces renewed pressure from increased dollar demand. Professor Isumen warns that even though there are strong foreign exchange reserves, it is time to check demand for the dollar due to increased import.
So the monetary management has done as much as it can. But if the demand for dollar keeps growing because we still want to keep importing everything, then I'm afraid that it's not going to be sustainable. So we can't keep putting that pressure on the central bank. We have to redesign the economy. We will be waiting for the kind of transformation that we want so that we will do some more import substitution. That's what we should be looking at. I think if you look at what the central bank has done over the last 18 or 15 months. It's done as much as it can from the demand management side, especially short to medium term side, to bring as much stability as you may call it. But that stability will not last if our continuous appetite for importation doesn't ease.
And that was economist Professor Patrick Esumin. There, you're still listening to the Joy Business Report. Now, former Finance Minister Seth Terkpe has stressed the need for Ghana to remain aligned with internationally accepted public sector accounting standards, arguing that doing so is critical to maintaining credibility with developing partners and international financial institutions. Speaking at a Chartered Institute of Restructuring and Insolvency Practitioners Bank of Ghana event, Mr. Terkpe said Ghana should continue to keep its public financial records in line with global standards as long as the country remains part of the international accounting framework.
Why did we have to prepare use petroleum funds to get stabilization to make the economy more stable? Our bailouts, in other words, are we going through similar Garia process? Garia now syrup. When we sit with the IMF, when we open our books and we retain bailout funds, the World Bank and others come in to bail the country out. And what accounts are we placing before the IMF and others? Simply because we do not, present those public accounts in this complete full accrual or semi-accrual context, it doesn't mean that what we are discussing is a bailout.
And that was former Finance Minister Seth Terkpe there speaking. Let's do some other stories now, as financial fraud is emerging as one of the biggest threats to Ghana's effort to expand financial inclusion, according to the country head of consumer and commercial banking products at EcoBank Group, William Nanadanso Abiam. Speaking on Joy Business Masterclass with host Yao Enim Banafo, he said trust remains the foundation of digital financial services and warned that unless fraud is tackled collectively, the progress made in bringing more people into the formal financial system could be overturned.
If you ask me to select or maybe make a choice of one big risk or one thing that would stand in our way with the progress that we are making with financial inclusion, because we are now leveraging more on digital, it is the issue of trust. People would need to trust the system. Trust is key. And I think that if we don't deal with the issue of fraud very well, it will erode the trust that we have in the platform that are enabling financial inclusion. And it's not one person's job when it comes to fraud. Everybody is included. Everybody plays a role. From you, the consumer, to the banks, to the fintechs, to the mobile money network operators, to the telcos, to the government. Everybody has a role to play. Because see, when fraud in the space started, people thought it was just the mobile money, issue.
And that was country head of consumer and commercial banking products at EcoBank Group, William Nanadanso Abiam. The Joy Business Masterclass airs every Wednesday at 1:15 p.m. on Joy FM. Now, cybersecurity, AI, and information systems expert Dr. Nana Kofi Annan says artificial intelligence has become the only effective way to counter the growing sophistication of cybercrime, as criminals increasingly deploy AI-powered tools that conventional cybersecurity systems cannot detect. Speaking at the EcoBank Joy News Business Financial Dialogue held at the EcoBank Auditorium on Tuesday, July 28, Dr. Anand said AI is fundamentally transforming data finance by shifting cybersecurity from reactive defense to predictive solutions.
These criminals are using sophisticated algorithms that is difficult for the human to comprehend and also counter. But with the use of AI, where we also leverage machine learning and other sophisticated algorithms to also counter the attackers. A typical example now, the same AI is helping these criminals with new weapon. What is now making things easy for this criminal is the use of AI. We should also leverage the same AI to counter them. And importantly, now with voice cloning and video cloning, it is important that we also ensure that we have strong architecture.
Dr. Nana Kofi Annan as a cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and information system expert. On Investor Eye today, Data Protection Agency cautioned against unlawful spread of data that could have future implications in the face of rising global data threat. According to Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission, Dr. Arnold Kavapu, sharing personal information could expose individuals to security, identity, and fraud risk.
channels such as social media, and also even some of the our digital footprint we leave behind. It's become even more important for us to protect our personal data. We have to be cautious about what we put out there. We have to be cautious about who we put out, because basically anything you put out today, once it goes out, it becomes very difficult for you to be able to get it out. And so it's really important for us to be guided. But we're also calling especially for data controllers, because it's a two-way street. There is the data subjects who sometimes don't know what their rights are and what their responsibilities are, may not have adequate information. But it's also a responsibility of those that collect this information to make sure that the Data Protection Act requires that they register with the Data Protection Commission to be able to process personal data, to be able to collect and process personal information.
You just heard Dr. Arnold Kavapu, Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission. Now let's do some commodities. As crude oil dropped to $79 a barrel, gold added more than $6 to open trading at $4,252 an ounce. Cocoa opened trading at $6,000 a ton after losing marginally from yesterday. To some currency news now, the dollar this morning is going for 11 cedis 83 pesos. That's the rate some of the major commercial banks are offering to their clients. The euro is going for 13 cedis 62 pesos. The British pound, on the other hand, is trading at 15 cedis 90 pesos. The forex bureaus, on the other hand, are selling the dollar at 12 cedis 40 pesos. And that's all for the Joy Business Report with me, James Kojo.
Thank you, James, for bringing us the Joy Business Report. It's now time for the newspaper review. But before that, we'll take our inspirational song and then we'll have Say It Right, our fuel tip, and we'll bring you the newspaper review. The inspirational song is from Joseph Oscar Metal. Nyajizi. Have faith. Enjoy this one.
Whatever he's promised, he will surely do. If you're anywhere right into me, yeah. Can we encourage you tonight? Are you weary? Are you weary and heavy laden? Don't you worry, don't you fret, my brother.
Don't you worry, don't you fret.
He is faithful to his word.
He is faithful to his word.
He never lies, he never fails.
He never lies, he never fails.
There is nothing he can do.
There is nothing he can do.
This is Joseph Oscar Metal, aka Geometry.
Oh, really? That's their name?
Yes.
Joseph Oscar Metal.
Yes, you can even add me to it.
Hey.
Yeah.
I see.
If you can't say the geometry, you say geometry. It's 6:37. This is the Super Morning Show. Good morning, Kweku. How are you?
Good morning, Kojo. 1 year ago, I mean, we did not wake up to a very good news. Okay, well, we woke up and everybody was moving around their job until the early hours of the day. We just got really bad news. But it's a year on to mark that very sad occasion, and to pray that their memory becomes a blessing. That they were going to do our concept, illegal mining thing, and I mean, a year on, have we really done anything about illegal mining? That's what I think about. But yeah, it's a year on since the 8 gallant Ghanaians just lost their lives in that helicopter crash, and we wish their families well.
Do we learn from tragedy as a people?
No, it does not appear to me that we do. It appears to me of course, this morning we'll do a very beautiful ceremony and then we'll all move on. Because, illegal mining is like one of the biggest problems this country has ever faced. I'm sure it's even in the likes of colonialism and the likes. So one would have thought that if ministers lost their life going to do something like that, it would just give some impetus to the government. Around that time, the government could have announced drastic measures and would have gotten political rally. They would have gotten people supporting them, and we'll let it just go. And 1 year on, we'll do a beautiful ceremony this morning.
We don't learn from tragedy. There was Major Mahama.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to recount the things that have happened with illegal mining. There was Major Mahama. There was Mr. Owusu of Anglo Gold, Obuasi.
Wow.
Galamseyers invaded some of their tunnels. They went with law enforcement to get them out, and in that operation a car reversed and knocked him down. I remember Mr. Owusu was comms director of AGC, and he died. There have been pit collapses that have killed people in Galamsey sites. And you see, Galamsey also didn't even start today. It started actively about years ago, and over the past 10 years, because of the ease of getting equipment from places like China, we have actually expanded Galamsey, and it's causing ecocide, but we've not learned from it. Tragedy number 1. Tragedy number 2, flooding. It happens. It happens. We'll fly helicopters around, we'll speak never again.
I mean, since the rain stopped,
then we'll work on a new urban policy. We'll not fund any activity to implement it, and people will die. And then people will die again. And then bastard boys will go and see things happening. And when they put it on Facebook, then we'll react. Can't we be proactive and leave this reactionary attitude? Do we ever learn from tragedy? It's something we want to talk about this morning here on the Super Morning Show. But before we get into any of the conversations, let's bring you the field tip. Clear your mirrors, clean your windscreens, and working lights. It helps to improve visibility for every driver and operator. Poor visibility can quickly lead to collision or poor judgment, especially in busy environments. See well to act well. This is a message from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, and they are encouraging us to undertake preventive vehicle checks to keep us safe on the roads.
Yeah, let's do Say It Right Now. It is brought to you by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
How do you say this word? C-O-R-N-E-R. Do you say kana? Well, it's corner, corner. A place where two sides meet. Corner. There's no A in the word. So I wonder where the A sound even comes from. Anyway, I'm now comfortable that if you're pushed into a corner, you'll know how to say it right.
Yes, if beef, you are pushed into a corner. Kojo should tell us whether it's corned beef, canned beef, or corned beef. He should tell us. He should give us one Say It Right on that. And that was a good one from Kojo Yankson. Say It Right, brought to you by Kingdom Books. They are giving you 15% discount on all school items, including pens, pencils, exercise books, erasers, and a whole lot more. You can go to their branches in Accra, Kumasi, Tema, Takra, Winneba, and Cape Coast. If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, you're a student, take advantage of this. 0302-764-101. That is their phone number, and you can visit the website kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. And remember that terms and conditions apply. And if you are running an SME, you need somebody who believes in your dreams, and at Societe Generale Bank Ghana, we believe those dreams deserve the right support. That's why from now till September, we are helping small and medium enterprises access the financing and banking solutions they need through our SME loans promo. As a trusted partner to many businesses across Ghana, we bring the expertise, experience, and tailored solutions needed to help businesses thrive. So if you need machinery, equipment, talk to SG Ghana for their finance lease solution. If you're looking for working capital, they have the Boafo loan for you. If you're waiting for customers to settle invoices, you can use their factoring and invoice discounting solution to unlock cash which is tied up in receivables. They have so many things for you. And from now till September, you can call them and learn about the SME loans promo and discover how they can help you. You can call Societe Generale on 0302 214-314. That's 0302-214-314. Or visit their website, societegenerale.com.gh. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
Time for the newspaper review is brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, Kel Charcoal toothpaste, happy smile, Star Oil, quality and affordable fuels for all.
Yesterday, we announced that Ghana Water was going to undertake some maintenance works on their line from Pong to Tema, and so Accra East will be hit by water shortage. And we advise people to go and get their Syntex tank. Somebody tweeted at us, say, Kojo, I have bought the Syntex tank, but the water is not flowing. Please tell Ghana Water to let the water flow so I can fill my tank. This is Mauli Atachi and sending us a message via Twitter. Kweku, what do we have?
Let's do daily guide. NPP NDC lock horns over democracy, democopter crash anniversary. So this morning there will be that helicopter crash anniversary, but also the NPP are hitting the streets over their issues with Ghana's democracy. And then Sedina Tamaklo still caged. Kwacho Fosu there speaking. Obosi SATS students beat headmaster over baby burial claims. 6 arrested so far. Nachimota Forest prayer camp fee increased to 10 Ghana cedis.
If you go to the Daily Graphic, BC marking scheme, WAEC rebuts private schools bias claim. That's the lead story for the Daily Graphic. It has Dr. Rosemond Wilson, the head of the Ghana National Office of West Africa Exams Council, on the front page. Still from the Daily Graphic, a conversation we must have. New Kokobot scholarship targets agriculture students. But the larger conversation on the Kokobot bill must be had on the show, one of these days. And Gender Minister calls for stronger data to improve autism services. And Reverend Steve Nyamesum Yenosum Wengam, he leads delegation to visit church branches in the Gambia. That is the Daily Graphic. Could you have the BNFT?
Yes, the Business and Financial Times, they have a lot of interesting business stories. We have the copy here. It says Gaiti raises concerns over mineral wealth saving strategy. And then the VRA, the GIF Open Volta Corridor Concession talks. And then CIB, Bank of Ghana deepen partnership. All of that on the front page of the Business and Financial Times. It's time now for the online news review brought to you by Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
If you go to my jaw online, there is the top story is Dennis Edward Miracles Abuaje, and he says that the judiciary is romancing the executive. Miracles Abuaje defends NPP protest. He was on
PM Express with
Evans Mensah. Quite an interesting conversation. Quite an interesting conversation. If you missed it, go on YouTube, look for PM Express, Evans Mensah, Dennis Abuaje, and listen to why he says he thinks he's the best man to lead communications for the NPP. And he spoke about a lot of issues. Now, MPP's Democracy Under Attack demonstration comes off today. Lawyers for Hanan Wahab, Abdul Buahini, Edu Buahini, sorry, Hanan Wahab.
Yeah.
So the brain is taking me to Abdul. So lawyers for Hanan Wahab and Edu Buahini protest vacation trials in petition to Chief Justice. Michael Blackson's claims on late mother's care inaccurate. This is UGMC.
Yeah.
The comedian Michael Blackson went online to share his experience and the experience of his late mother at the UGMC. UGMC has released a statement clarifying the issues, and BOG insists banks cut NPLs to 10%. Miracles Abuaji says he fears for his safety because his mouth will put him into trouble, basically explaining that these days people cannot speak freely. Kolebu emergency cases surge from 70 to 100 daily. And social media, drug abuse fueling student indiscipline. This is the Deputy Education Minister. You mentioned the Obuasi Sectec issue. 6 students arrested, Obuasi Sectec closed following mob attack on headmaster.
The City Newsroom, NPP stages Democracy and the Attack demo today. I don't feel safe. I feel my mouth will put me in trouble. Miracles there. Ghana's per capita GDP growth has averaged 1.15% over 65 years. Professor Aka speaking, and why Ghana's economy remains structurally weak. Professor Aka identifies 5 key challenges. Ghana Airport Company Limited adopts measures to clamp down on extortion and begging at the airport. Beggy.
There's a story on my Joe Online that I want to bring. The late Murtala Muhammad, his family is dealing with double tragedy.
What?
His home has been destroyed by fire. 9 rooms gone. So on the anniversary of the passing of the late Minister of Environment, his family has to deal with a possible situation of homelessness because their home has been destroyed. Anyway, Kojo, give us the details.
Yes, let's get into the stories. The NPP NDC lock holds of a democracy democopter crash anniversary. Stories on page 3 of the Daily Guide. It says the Deputy Director in charge of IT and elections of the NDC, Tango Computer, has accused the NPP of hypocrisy over his planned August 6 demonstration, which coincides with the first anniversary of the helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives in a Dansia Grove home in the Ashanti region. The NPP will embark on a demonstration today to protest what it says is the growing concern about threat to Ghana's democratic governance, particularly in the administration of justice by the judiciary. In an interview with Joy News yesterday, Mr. Tango Computer recognized the party's constitutional right to stage a demonstration, provided it adheres to the relevant legal procedures and remains peaceful. He, however, said the timing of the protest reveals what he considers a contradiction in the party's position on the remembrance of the 8 people who lost their lives in the helicopter crash, and therefore urged the political actors to be sensitive to national strategy. But the NPP's national organizer, Nana B, rejected the claims that the party deliberately chose Thursday, August 6th for the planned demonstration. He said the NPP never disregarded the first anniversary. So that story is in the Daily Guide.
Now, if you go to my Joe Online, judiciary is romancing the executive. Miracles Abuaji defends NPP protest. And the story says Dennis Miracles Abuaji, an aspiring national communications officer of the New Patriotic Party, has defended the party's planned protest on Thursday, August 6. He's accusing the judiciary of becoming too close to the executive and warning that public confidence in the justice system is being eroded. Appearing on Joy News PM Express on Tuesday, Mr. Abuaji said the demonstration was driven by growing concerns over what he described as the judiciary's relationship with the government and what he called the selective application of justice. So,
I mean, this is a very. I mean, so simply when political hands change hands, because it was just 2 years ago that the NDC were always on the neck of the judiciary and said that the judiciary was. I mean, the judges, how many of them have changed? It's changed. It's the same, almost the same with a few additions, and all of a sudden the NPP says there's the same thing. So, I think there's merit in both the arguments on both sides. I mean, some of the decisions, some of the things that happen. But it's a call to the judiciary themselves to look at some of these things and say, listen, if the people cannot trust the decisions that come from the courts, it's a big recipe for chaos. Let me do this story related to the judiciary because it's still part of the NPP's claims and concerns about the courts. Lawyers for Hanan Wahab Edubuahin protest vacation trials in petition to the Chief Justice. Those days. Lawyers representing Abdul Hanan Wahab and former National Signals Bureau Director General Kwabena Edubuahin have written separately to the Chief Justice protesting the decision to allow their criminal trials proceed during the legal vacation. The two legal teams led by former Attorney General Godfrey Debo Adame for Abdul Hanan Wahab and Samuel Atachia for Kwabena Dubois contend that commencing and continuing their trials during the vacation is inconsistent with long-standing judicial practice and the rules governing the sittings of the superior courts. In their letters dated August 5, the lawyers informed the Chief Justice that they would not participate in proceedings scheduled during the legal vacation. I mean, if you read their letters, they say that the proceedings that are expected to continue from next week, even during the legal vacation, because the CJ has given a warrant to the courts to continue sitting on that, it will lead to a travesty of justice. I mean, for me, it brings into the question the consistent advocacy by people like Professor Kweku Asare about the need for a legal vacation for the courts. Corruption doesn't go on break. It doesn't go on vacation. Armed robbery doesn't go on vacation. All sort of crimes. Yeah. So why are our courts going on break?
He's giving us the historical reasons why the legal vacation was necessary.
That people had to travel.
The judges were mostly from England, and so usually in the summer they would go back. And because they were not going with flights and they were going with ships, they needed about 2 months to be able to make the trip in and out. That brought about the legal vacation. Now that all that, Charlie, we are our own judges and we are our own lawyers. We should restructure the system to meet the needs of the nation we are building. And that's Prof. Kweku Asare's position on that. Now, WAEC has rebutted the private schools bias claim. We had that extensive conversation yesterday, and the Daily Graphic has that story by Emmanuel Boni, basically talking about what the head of public affairs of WAEC, John Kapi, is saying and what NACOPS and NAPS are also saying. So far, we had the conversation yesterday. We've still not been told when the private candidates' results will be released. We'll follow up with more calls. But there's a story on the Daily Graphic page to fire guts girls dormitory at Wa Islamic Senior High School. 138 students displaced. Last week or last 2 weeks too, there was a fire at the Leklebi Senior High School. I'm highlighting these two schools because students will be going to school very soon. So I hope that the government, through the Ministry of Education and NADMO and related agencies, will go to the aid of these schools so they can prepare accommodation and infrastructure for the students who will be going back to school.
Talking about fire, a fire has destroyed 9 of the 17 rooms at the family home of the late Tamale Central MP, Murtala Mohammed in Tamale. The blaze broke out on Wednesday, August 5, prompting a swift response from the National Fire Service. According to the Northern Regional Public Relations Officer of the Fire Service, Hudu Baba, the service received a distress call at about 3:29 p.m. and firefighters arrived at the scene 8 minutes later. And then they were able to deal with the flame. But I mean, like you said, Murtala Mohammed was among the 8 people who lost their lives in a military helicopter crash in the Adansi area of the Ashanti region last year, August 6. The victims were traveling from Accra to Ashanti region. And now, a year on, the family's house has been, engulfed in fire, with properties being destroyed. So we'll see how that one will go.
Earlier this week, the Ghana Statistical Service released Wave 3 of its governance series covering July to December 2025. Its central finding is not that Ghanaians are corrupt. It is that the demand has moved to the official side of the desk. And among citizens who encountered bribery, the share who said an official asked them for an unofficial payment rose from 50.9% in the first half of 2025 to 69.4% in the second half, nearly 7 in 10. The share who actually paid rose from 14.3% to 18%, roughly 1 citizen in 6. In the government statistician's phrase, the pressure now sits at the counter. The people who are supposed to give us service are now extorting money from us. And then yesterday, the Ghana Airports Company Limited announced measures against what they called begging at the country's airports, a mystery shopping program, a name and shame policy, disciplinary action, and a permanent bar from airport work. This morning, we want to know from you, what service did you seek that caused you to think twice about what it means to be Ghanaian? Which police station did you go to that you had to pay? Which ministry did you go to that an official demanded bribes from you? Which hospital did you go to? Which school? Which agency? What service? What supports required you to go and find extra money to pay bribes? We know of the airports case. We know some of the police related issues, some of the assembly related issues, schools, hospitals. Share with us, because service with integrity must be service delivered without any extra stress. And I'm using service with integrity across board for agencies, not the Ghana Police Service. And so this morning, it's one of the things we want to have a conversation about. Any other stories, Kojo?
Yes, let me do this story about the Achimota Forest. And people go there to pray, and they usually pay 1 cedi. But I understand from this story in the Daily Guide that the price has been increased to 10 cedis. And it says,
pay to pray.
Yes, reports reveal that the government has increased the entry fee from 1 cedi to 10 cedi for people who pray in the Achimota Forest. The new fee, which took effect on August 1, pegged 10 cedi for adults, while kids over 3 years are to pay 5 cedis for use of the forest reserve located in the Greater Accra region. As of now, the Lands Ministry have not announced any fee or levy for religious activities in the forest. People who visit the Achimota Forest for daily prayers have expressed strong dissatisfaction over the sharp increase in the entry fee. Speaking to Nana Kwesiampo of Man FM, the PRO of the Achimota Pastors Association, there's Achimota Pastors Association, Prophet Samuel Asare, said the association has petitioned Parliament and the Forestry Commission over the increment and is awaiting a response after Parliament resumes from recess. Parliament will come back at the end of October. Are you going to put on hold the prayers for now, or you pay the 10 cedis and go and pray to God?
The truth is, we need more parks in our cities.
Yeah.
More parks, better playgrounds, and leisure infrastructure. We don't have enough. And we also need to figure out how to maintain them, how to resource institutions like Forestry Commission, Parks and Gardens to maintain them. And it's a conversation we all know we need to have, but we are not having. But anyway, the IMF is warning that Galamsey threatens Ghana's economy. And you asked those questions earlier. A year on, what has the death, the tragedy taught us, and how has it driven us to do better for the environment? And you see, these people who died, they were not like you and I. They are not ordinary Ghanaians. Ministers, people in government, friends of the president.
Yes.
So the question is, if your friend died in service of the country and it was due to an issue that needs to be fought, would this be how you fight that problem? Would you increase the intensity and find the best strategy to solve it? And if what you are doing is the best strategy, is it really solving the problem? It's a conversation for the morning here on the Super Morning Show. We can go for the BBC News now.
Yes.
And our WhatsApp line is 0551111997. BBC News is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Oba Spaghetti, Oba Come Chop, everybody chop. And if you want extra peace of mind for you and your family, get any that's from Glyco Life, a life insurance plan that truly delivers. You can dial *765# now to sign up. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service.
It's incredibly important to have Māori language, culture, identity reflected in the education system because it gives a sense of well-being.
Now New Zealand's making big changes to what and how students are taught.
So we are going back to a standardised curriculum that is rich in subject knowledge.
The effect of lawmakers on heritage-based learning is an international concern.
In public schools, there's less commitment to ensuring that Indigenous knowledges are present.
This week we're asking, is Indigenous education at risk?
It feels to me like we've taken a step backwards in terms of becoming a society that really understands each other's perspectives, understands each other's challenges.
I'm Charmaine Cozier. Join me on the inquiry after the news.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. FIFA's president Gianni Infantino has apologised for errors he made in controversial plans to sell off stakes in competitions to private investors. But he will retain his position after receiving the backing of senior executives in a meeting in Morocco. Here's Isaac Fannin.
A few days ago, there seemed to be sort of open dissension towards the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, with an internal leaked memo from the Secretary General, Matthias Grafström, to FIFA staff, where he described the events of recent days that have led to this crisis in the organisation as a sad, reproachable series of events. But it appears as though they've kissed and made up, and they say that they will no longer tolerate any attacks on FIFA's integrity and take all necessary measures to defend its reputation.
Thailand is hosting Myanmar's military ruler Min Aung Hlaing today on his first official visit since he overthrew the elected government of Myanmar in 2021. He's seeking to end his regime's diplomatic isolation after elections, widely dismissed as a sham, named him president. Jonathan Head is in Bangkok.
The Southeast Asian position has been that the Myanmar military leaders have refused to honour the promise they made 5 years ago to de-escalate violence and talk to the opposition. Min Aung Hlaing has now completely dismissed that agreement that he signed 5 years ago, and a lot of Southeast Asian countries saying we should not be engaging with him until we see some real concessions. But Thailand argues it's a special case. It's got a very long border, the longest of all with Myanmar, 2,500 kilometres, that Min Aung Hlaing is there to stay. He's got the backing of China, but they have to start doing business with him.
Neither the United States nor Oman has commented on a claim by Iran that it and Oman have almost completed an agreement on a new route for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. The agreement would also mean the Iranian authorities would exercise some sovereign control over the strait for the first time. John Donson reports.
So far, we only have Iran's word that any progress has been made towards reopening the vital shipping lane through which 20% of the world's oil would normally pass. A foreign ministry spokesperson in Tehran said coordinates had been agreed with Oman that would allow vessels to pass in and out of the strait. But the warning that third parties should not interfere means all eyes will now be on the White House and whether President Trump gives his approval. It could still all unravel.
The Israeli military says 2 of its reservists have been killed by an explosive device in southern Lebanon. The IDF said it happened on Wednesday in a building they were seeking to demolish in the town of Majd al-Zaun, claiming the structure was used by Hezbollah. Earlier, Lebanese media said 1 person had been killed and 11 wounded in an Israeli strike. World News from the BBC. South Korean police have raided the local football association as part of an investigation into alleged nepotism in the appointing of the former head coach. Hong Myung-bo had failed to take the national men's team past the group stage of the World Cup this year in a massive disappointment for the country. 2 Iranian footballers granted asylum in Australia after this year's Women's Asia Cup have become citizens there. Atifa Ramazanadeh and Fatima Pasandideh were given humanitarian visas for fear they would face repercussions in Iran for declining to sing the national anthem. Katie Watson is in Sydney.
Their path to citizenship, though, only began in March when it was feared the Iranian women's football team would face repercussions after not singing the national anthem in their opening match, just days after the war between the US and Iran began. Under pressure from the Iranian community here in Australia, authorities gave the players a chance to seek asylum. In the end, though, only Atifa Ramazanizadeh and Fatima Pasandideh took up the offer. Ramazanizadeh said that becoming Australian was truly special and she felt proud, while also making it clear that her Iranian roots would always be a part of her.
British scientists say vaccines which don't need to be kept cool in a fridge have been successfully trialled in patients for the first time. Around half of all vaccines are wasted each year, often after freezing or becoming too hot. The trials were part of the tetanus diphtheria jab, which is normally a liquid. The United States has suspended imports of avocados from the top producing state in Mexico because of what it called a threat against American interests. The authorities in Michoacan state linked the suspicion to the arrest of criminals known for extorting money for the avocado industry. Shipments are routinely subject to inspection by US officials before they can be exported.
Welcome to the inquiry from the BBC World Service. I'm Charmaine Cozy.
Challenge these days, new level crowd. Where did you buy? Isn't that where you want to be if indeed somebody accuses you of doing any wrong?
I have explained it enough. I don't have to belabor the point. I've explained why and how I think it's.
No, I mean, but you're making. You made the point about being selective, but I'm saying that in a democracy, if you are accused, you have to go before a court, which is what has happened.
Nobody's disputing that.
Yes.
We are saying that.
But you're saying that because the case is going to be heard during the legal vacation, one, it is selective, but impractical to expect that every other case will be heard.
Yeah, but how come all the list? Wait, how come all the list of selected ones doesn't have any other ordinary citizen apart from your political...
Beyond those two, which other cases back the case that this is a bigger...
Tell me which other case is part of that list.
I'm
not a political opponent. That's what I'm saying.
This is not
that is what we define it.
This is not even beyond the Hanan and the other case. I'm asking you, making a broader case about why you are protesting tomorrow, and that you're protesting because you believe there is selective justice. You mentioned those two cases. Which other case? Because you believe this is a trend. This is something that it's basically happening to damage our democracy.
The trend is established by the elements. The trend has been established by the elements in the subset. If you're able to pick from the list of cases that are being heard during the vacation, if you're able to pick one, that is what a political opponent, then you can dispute my fact.
No, I mean, so that is one example.
You should be answering that question, not me.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not protesting.
So I have proven it. I have proven it with the set.
I'm asking a separate question.
So I have proven it with the set. When you look at the set, so not a single one of the vacation cases is not a political opponent. That answers your question.
I'm just saying, that's fine. I'm asking you, that's one example backing the accusation of selective.
But that's the only example.
That's the only.
Yes.
Does the said Natamaklo case feature at all?
No. Why was that an issue? They've gone to the appeal. The Attorney General is responsible for the case. The Attorney General says he's going to appeal. How is that an issue? So I'm right. You've just validated what I am saying. So you agree with me that in our justice system, the Chief Justice, the judiciary, let me use the judiciary so I don't personalize it, is using its discretion to determine what they believe.
Yeah.
What they
That's
believe.
a prerogative of the Chief Justice.
Exactly. So it's selectivity. You agree? So I am not wrong.
But the fact that it's select doesn't mean that it is...
It is selectivity.
It is injustice.
You cannot define it other than it is... I haven't said injustice. I haven't used injustice here. I said selective justice. That is what I have said. I haven't used injustice.
Yeah. But it's impractical to have all cases heard during.
But the problem is that based on the when you do categorization, we look at the character and nature, and we know what you are doing. All the so-called high-profile cases are your political opponents. That is what it is. So clearly, you don't have to come and tell us what you are doing. Why is it that when you were selecting cases for special arrangement, not even a single medra? So those citizens, they don't matter. The families who have lost their family members to murderers and other people, rapists, they are all criminal cases. Those families, they don't matter. You couldn't find one that was of importance to you except your political opponent. That is selective justice. There is no doubt about it. You can garnish it, you can spice it, but that is the truth.
I mean,
that is the truth.
If you had your freedom on the line, you wouldn't be happy that your case is going to be heard quickly.
No,
and you believe you are innocent.
No, you see, it's not an issue of your case being heard quickly or heard slowly. It's about a system that ensures fairness to everybody. That is what it is. Why is it that the woman who has lost a father or a husband would not enjoy fast trial? Because the husband who is dead is not a politician. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you are selectively applying justice to the citizen.
You seem to be suggesting that there's more to this dispensation.
I'm not
around
suggesting.
Those
it
cases.
is a fact.
What more is there?
No, I'm not suggesting.
Yeah, what's the fact?
It's a political case. It's not a political case.
When you say political case, what do you
mean? It's not your political. It's not the government's political opponents that are in that list.
No, I mean, there are people who are being held accountable.
Ivan, stop
before
that.
Stop
that. It's 9 p.m. There are a lot of senior people watching.
No, but they held public office.
Yes.
And they are being held to account.
Yes.
Or they are still watching.
Yes. Why? The Auditor General's report that came now, 5.1 billion Ghana cedis loss. Are those people not in office now? Are they not in office? Which of them is in court?
But what's the point there?
No, the point is that there are issues in that audit report. Which of them is in court?
Yeah, but those cases have to be investigated.
Yeah, but they can go.
You can't just put
but those ones can go.
But
those ones can go slowly, and that of your opponent can be fast tracked. So again, you've come to validate my point. The selective justice, the selective application of our justice system is also obvious to all of us. I mean, it's become even now blatant. You know, I wrote a letter to His Lordship, the Chief Justice. I don't know if you saw that letter.
No, I haven't.
Oh, I wrote a letter to His Lordship.
When recently?
About a month ago.
Okay.
Where I atomized my worry about his relationship and his romance with the executive. And the fact that it's becoming too glaring.
Have you received a reply?
No, yes. I think the Judicial Secretary actually issued a statement to clarify certain things. Because I felt that the way he was posturing himself.
Is it on the back of his World Cup?
I mean, that was just one example. Okay. I gave several other examples, and I felt uncomfortable that you are looking too close. The proximity within which you seem to be moving around with these people, it's becoming too blatant. And it makes those of us who are obviously not liked by these people uncomfortable, because I get worried that these people, they don't like me. And they don't like me because I am speaking. I speak up. And so if you are this way with them and I have an issue, they probably have your ears, I don't. How safe am I? So I wrote a letter to the Chief Justice. The Judicial Secretary responded. And I thought, okay, it's fine. At least they've clarified certain things. But I am of the view that we need to keep our judiciary very far away from our politics. Far, far, far away from our politics. I don't take those excuses of comparisons. Those excuses of what was that, I don't care. I am a citizen. I feel that today, as it is happening, I am worried about it. I want to speak up. And so the tens and thousands of people you will be seeing tomorrow on the street are simply saying that the judiciary seems to be romancing with the executive and is making the executive too comfortable.
Where is the selective justice, though?
Oh, for example, listen. Criminal is criminal. There is no weight to it. Now, you have a lot of cases in the court, a lot of criminal cases, a lot of civil cases. Some of them predates even 2017, 2020. Every year you go on your legal vacation. This year, you are going on legal vacation and you say that even though all of you are being tried for criminal cases, I have selected a few of you. And as for you, you can't go and rest. You must go through the criminal procedure. That is selective justice.
Why is it selective?
Why not? Why is it that somebody has murdered my uncle, but that person can go on vacation? Evans, the issues I'm raising, they are very serious issues. Do you know the number of people who have been kept 3, 4, 5 days without being allowed to even make contact with anybody? And the abuse of the bail conditions that this government is using, weaponizing to oppress citizens. Let me tell you, today, most of these security agencies will tell you that you are better off with them spending a week than even going to the courts. Because they tell you, when you go to the courts, then they grant you the bail. The landed property, you have to go to Lands Commission or Valuation Board and get it valued. And that one, well, we don't know how long it will take. And as long as you haven't done the valuation, you remain with us. People have been in custody for 3 months in this country under this government. 3 months because of bail conditions. This morning, I was talking to a lawyer. He says he has a client that has been in custody of one of the security agencies for 9 months. For 9 months because he hasn't been able to fulfill a bail condition.
So tomorrow's protest, is fundamentally about what you perceive to be government oppression.
It's no longer a perception. It's happening. It's a reality. The numbers.
Except that the complaint that is fueling the protest isn't new and isn't unique to the NDC. In fact, under your term, you mentioned it, this legislation, which you have mentioned and criticized, was used too. In fact, my first encounter of that clause was under Kufuor and your government, which is this Criminal Code 160, Section 208, which talks about publishing false news. You used it. You used it at the time, was severely criticized. The last time our research team checked, between 2022 and 2024, you used it 30 times. Under your previous administration. In the last 1 year, this government has used it 15 times. So both sides have done this. So this is not new.
Perfect. That is why when you come to office, you complained in opposition. When it was being used 30 times in 2 years, you complained, you raised issues, you called him dictator, you called him autocratic. The people, why do you think the people voted for you? They voted for you.
And this song was sampled from Bruce Hornsby and the Range song. That's just the way it is, man. And basically, Bruce Hornsby, Tupac are saying that the more things change, the more things remain the same. We talk about slavery, we talk about corruption, we talk about oppression, we talk about retrogression, and we don't see exceptional changes, right? Even though at the end of the year, you'd realize that a lot of money has been spent on the problems we discuss, but the changes are not felt. And so basically, we are asking, what would it change for us to do as we say as a country and for us to do right? So a year ago, 8 Ghanaian people died on their way to fix Galamsey. We held a state funeral. We said all the things we wanted to say. Visits to family. We've set up a fund to take care of their children. Great. And we've put money in fixed accounts for their dependents. All that is great. But why did they die? They died because they were going for an event on Galamsey. Right? Community mining, how to fix illegal mining and all those things. How did they die? They died because the aircraft they were flying in experienced turbulence. It crashed. They died. How did we celebrate them? We celebrated them by honoring them. The state did well. But post celebrating them, how are we ensuring that their deaths are not in vain and that there's a legacy left after their demise?
Yeah.
And a year on, and after all the Galamsey fights, have things changed?
Unfortunately, I think we have failed them. We are losing the battle of illegal mining, and we have not, as a country, we have not honored these 8 people who have paid the ultimate price.
Let me ask the question again. A year after their tragic demise, have things changed?
Unfortunately, I think we have failed them. We are losing the battle of illegal mining, and we have not, as a country, we have not honored these 8 people who have paid the ultimate price.
That's the voice of Engineer Ken Ashigbe. He's the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, right?
Yeah.
So he is an industry person. He is also one of the key personalities in the fight against illegal mining. And he says, unfortunately, he thinks we have failed them. Now, that we have failed them, no. Who have failed them? Whose ultimate responsibility is it to fight Galamsey? Who has been clothed with the authority of the state and the resources of the state to fight Galamsey? And whose dereliction of duty is ensuring that Galamsey still thrives? Galamsey becomes a threat, continues to be a threat to our economy. Galamsey continues to be a threat to our health and future generations. And Galamsey continues to unleash ecocide on the Republic of Ghana. It's 7:20. This is the Super Morning Show. My name is Kojo Akoto Boateng. I'm here with Kweku Asante.
Yeah.
And Kweku, we have some messages on the show. Maybe we can run through some of the messages.
Yeah, we are getting a couple of them about a lot of things happening, corruption issues and all of that. So Meshach in Amasama says he's talking about the protest, and he's using quite some strong words about the protest. He does not believe that the protest is quite merited in the way it has been set up.
There's a message on the on the parks.
Yeah, this one says the lands department they offer a lot of frustration with a lot of disintegrity. I've been trying to register my land for over 20 years. You won't believe the drama.
20 years.
This one says he also has one on the demonstration. And Charlie, there's 2 park things you talked about. People are enjoying it and they are talking about. And then this one says Ghana Education Service and the Controller and Accountant General Department want to overtake the police in taking bribes. You either pay or you wait till eternity for your letters to be issued on your salary issues to be resolved. And they said this you should see the scornful look I gave that officer at the airport. Charlie, you pay small now, they give scornful look. Let's talk about the parks and gardens. Good morning, Kojo. I wish you would pursue the idea of the parks. We really need them, especially pensioners and kids. I mean, in this country, there is no way you can go to just sit and rest. And the entire Accra is locked everywhere. Even beach now, you have to go and pay and go to the beach. You know, You know, when you go to places, there are parks and gardens where you can just go and sit in some park and chill and enjoy. You don't get them. This one says, Kojo, too many to recount. But indeed, the begging at the airport is regrettable and disgraceful. Just this Sunday, an airline staff simply directing me to where to wear my bag says, is asking for amamre. Hey, the open asking for tips from staffs, fully clothed immigration officers, and even janitors at the airport is shameful. And 2 days ago, I was at the airport. We talked to the CEO, Madame Yvonne, and she spoke about the crackdown that they're embarking on to deal with these issues.
We'll bring you more this morning. The MPP demonstration is also happening this morning. We'll bring you live updates on that demonstration. We'll read more of your messages on the bribery, the extortion over the counter, extortion in uniform, authority. How do I? People giving the opportunity to serve us. Giving uniforms to serve us, because a lot of these people are also on uniforms, and people giving counters and decks to serve us are using the resources we give to them to extort from us and to demand bribes. People paying bribes have increased. Officials asking for bribes have increased. Share your bribery and extortion messages with us, and we'll read them here on the Super Morning Show. And we're also following the Galamsey conversation. We'll bring you a lot more, and the 1 year celebration and remembrance of the Gallant 8. We bring that to you here on the Super Morning Show. But something big is happening. Kweku, something big is coming. This dawn, when I woke up and I opened my Facebook, the first video I saw was a young lady who had rented a room. The room was in a state of anomy. And then she paid her rent, fixed the room nicely. Landlord comes to see her and says, you have to move because my daughter from abroad is visiting. So take your rent and move. And then this young lady destroyed the room completely. Nice. And the question the poster asked was the lady right to have destroyed the room and returned it to the state she found it? And a lot of people were debating, and it's because we don't have enough accommodation. We don't have enough rooms. We don't have enough houses. Rent is over the roof. You can't buy houses on your salary. You have to find all sorts of, you can't build easily. That's why over the years the Habitat Fair has been designed by our team for you. Changes in the air. You should get ready for the Habitat Fair 2026. It's your gateway to home ownership, and this year we have exciting property opportunities for you. But first, we want to bring you the first mini fair at the Achimota Mall. That is happening from the 14th to the 16th of August. What are the mini fairs about? They are designed for you to come and speak to experts about rent, about leases, about land, about houses, about materials, anything that will help you get a place to put your head. Okay? And the mini fairs are happening 14th to 16th of August at Achimota Mall, and you need to reserve your spot today. And to do that, you have to call Selassie or text Selassie on 0233 233 444 0233 233 444. The Habitat Fair 2026 is ensuring that home ownership, which is a lifetime investment, is made easy for all of us. I want to say a big thank you to Virtual Security Africa, Security for All, Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services, Abaku Services, Bebre, Door Masters, the best indoors, Less Fortune Limited, Unleashing Luxury with Perfection, one space at a time, Clifton Homes, Beautiful Homes, Wise Investments, and MTN. Everywhere you go.
I mean, talking about getting your homes built, then you need some big tank there to store your water.
Yes.
Let's talk water tanks. The secret to real water storage is Syntex tank. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, it is not the correct tank. That is right. The tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is a champion of all water tanks. It is strong and durable and built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that is tough like a tortoise. Call 0244 335 168 to buy now, or find one of our 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank is strong.
Tough. And from now to the end of October, Bank of Africa is offering you short-term loans at very slim rates to salaried workers. We understand you have that urgent need to sort out. That's why we give you that quick turnaround time. So if you're looking for money for school fees, prospectus, car maintenance, or that much deserved family vacation, Bank of Africa will sort you out. And it's very, 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 like it's lightning fast. And the rates are very slim. So visit the nearest branch or chat Fafa at boaghana.com to sign up. Today we see Fafa. The way we jubilate.
Yes.
We've been chatting with Fafa, but we've not seen Fafa. So chat Fafa at boaghana.com to sign up. You may also WhatsApp 0244 338 226 for inquiries. Terms and conditions apply. Sometimes all you need is a quick fix. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Have you heard about the incredible benefits of Exilium from Total Energies? Let me tell you more about this premium fuel with the amazing 3-in-1 power. Total Energies introduces Exilium new formula, the additive enriched fuel with this powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, Exilium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing carbon dioxide emissions. You drive SAR, experience the new formula with Total Energies Exilium new formula. Choose Exilium, choose quality.
The more things change, the more things remain the same. How can Ghana be built into an utopian country? No dystopian things happening within the space. How can we build heaven on earth? How can we build heaven on earth? How can our fears, our strategies, our hopes be transformed into actionable items that we can execute and make Ghana better? And how can we build a country without paying bribes? Let's name and shame. Who is demanding bribes from you? Who have you paid bribes to? And how do you think we fix all these things? We're having a very big conversation, which is above our pay grade, but we'll have it anyway on the show. And Kojo, I have a quick question for you. Would you leave your front door wide open before going to bed?
Never.
Have you done that before? You never do that?
Never.
So why give away your PIN or your one-time password to someone? When somebody calls you and says, Gwegu, send me your PIN, why do you do that? Your PIN, your OTP are private and for your eyes only. Remember, do not disclose your PIN or OTP. If anyone asks for them, that's a red flag. Avoid clicking suspicious links, and in case of any doubt, always pause. You think first and you verify. Shine your eyes and protect your account. Spot the fraud, stop the fraud, and if you need assistance, call 030-708-6000. Omni Basic Bank is not just another bank.
The Global Conference on Human Resources in Africa returns August 12th to 15th at the Kempinski Hotel, Accra, Ghana. It's convening HR professionals, business executives, policymakers, and industry leaders from 15 plus countries for 4 days of immersive experience in HR, AI leadership, and workforce transformation. We'll be joined by Honorable Rashid Pelpo, the Labour Minister, Michael Diambros, Fortune 50 HR and Transformation Leader, Akal Hana of SHRM India, Daniel Vargas of Microsoft, Seamus Clancy of LinkedIn, Dr. Francis Eduku of CIHRM, Uzuaku Nwobi of PwC Nigeria, Martin Kiragu of Deal Local Payroll, and more. Expect keynote panels, innovation labs, master classes, exhibitions, tours, plus sponsors and exhibitors including SHRM, LinkedIn, MTN, PwC, Deal Local Payroll, Atlas Co-Pilot, CIFA, and more. Visit gchrafrica.com or call 055-408-1727. That is 055-408-1727.
Do that because it's a big event, and this morning we'll be talking to them on the show. But if you are looking for a multifunctional photocopier, don't buy it. Take it from me, don't buy it. Lease from Valex Lease Equip Limited. It's Ghana's #1 photocopier leasing company, and it's also a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Now, you can lease and pay as you copy and print, or design your own payment plan. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty MFP with sorter, stapler, finisher, production machine with sorter, stapler, finisher, and you enjoy free toners and cartridges, free repairs, free maintenance, follow me printing, centralized monitoring of all staff, and nationwide coverage. And, you know, if you lease instead of buying, and you are strategic, you actually save yourself over 60% of the cost. So join the hundreds of satisfied customers across every sector. Visit valexlease.com or you call 0244 64 4048, 0244 64 4048. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Oh yeah. With all the rain we've been experiencing lately, getting to bus stations can be stressful. Flooded roads, long queues, and the uncertainty of travel can make an already difficult journey even harder. That is why more travelers are choosing Oya Bus Ride app, the app that puts you in control of your intercity travel. With Oya Bus Ride, you can book your trip from your phone, choose your preferred seat, select your pickup location, track your journey, and even monitor driver behavior for added peace of mind. No station stress, no unnecessary hassle, just convenient travel designed around you. A pilot route currently operates between Accra and Kumasi, and with the Oya app, you can choose that route that works best for you. Download the Oya Bus Ride app today on Google Play Store or the App Store and discover why your journey should begin on your phone. Oya Bus Ride, no giddy. Oya, let's go.
Do you remember Journey to the West?
Yes, Shifo.
Yes. So Baja will go to Shifo and say, Shifo, who say we'll go from a Then Shifo will look at him, Baja. They used to speak to you in Journey to the West. Though.
Yeah.
And if you want a bank that speaks the language that helps you to trade with China, Stanbic Bank is here. If you do business with China, you know that making payments isn't always straightforward. For businesses, it often means sourcing US dollars, absorbing multiple currency conversion costs, and waiting days for suppliers to receive payments. Stanbic Bank is now playing the role of Shifo. He says, people, come to us. We'll do that for you. For importers, every delay can hold up shipments and slow down sales. And for individuals paying school fees, medical expenses, or supporting loved ones in China, the process can be longer and more complicated than it needs to be. Stanbic Bank, in partnership with the Industrial Commercial Bank of China, has introduced CIPS, a faster, secure, and direct way to make payments to China. With CIPS, you can pay in Ghana cedis while the recipients collect in Chinese yuan directly. This way, you save money and time. So trade with China, pay direct, visit your nearest Stanbic Bank branch, or speak to your relationship manager today. Call Stanbic Bank on 0302 815 789. That is Stanbic Bank 0302 815 789. It's 7:33. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we bring you the sports, we bring you your birthday messages, we bring you food for thoughts. This message from Kwame Sowu Jr. says, civilize and enlighten Ghana, the two key solutions. Civilization is the ability of a people to build. Enlightenment is the ability of a people to think. Everything Ghana seeks, jobs, housing, food security, healthcare, environmental protection, and prosperity begins with these two foundations. Without the capacity to build and the wisdom to think, we will keep destroying our rivers through illegal mining, consuming more than we produce, and mistaking political promises for national progress. Your comments and messages are also welcome. 055 1111 997. Quick break, we'll be right back.
Charlie, dream I'm nice. I get some serious meat.
You told them that this guy is an autocratic leader. He's a dictator. Vote against him and vote for me. I'm a Democrat. When you come and within a year, you've done 50% of what the person did in 2 years, that is betrayal. That is why you must be called out. That is why you must be hooted at. That is betrayal. Because the people went to vote for you simply because of what you are saying. You told them that you are a Democrat. As for you, you are tolerant. As for you, you will listen. You would allow everybody to speak. You went to their homes. You were having your microphone standing and then calmly speaking to them. And that's why they voted against the other guy. As we speak today, when you go to TikTok, and I say TikTok is an open source social media platform. Yeah. Nobody controls anybody there. That's where free speech is. At least 50 people from different regions, different places have been bundled up one way or the other by this government. Why? Why should everybody say what you want to hear? Why do you want people to say only what you want to hear? If that is the case, then where is the beauty of our democracy? I am saddened, and I'll tell you what. I am sad about how this government is going simply because I know how we all played here in these studios when they were in opposition. I know how we all played here. In fact, you remember that in few occasions, I think I remember about 15 or so occasions, or less, or just a little bit more, I had a cause to even complain about my government. And I have it on Facebook, where I felt that some of the arrests of some of these social media comments or media things were unnecessary. These people in government today, we always say Akufo-Addo is a tyrant, Akufo-Addo is a dictator, Akufo-Addo is this, Akufo-Addo is that, Akufo-Addo gave him all manner of names. Because at that time they felt that they are special and that they could say anything that they want to say. Can you mention one person in the NDC that didn't rain insult at Akufo-Addo? The names they gave Akufo-Addo, the names they gave Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Why are you so afraid of experiencing exactly what you have cultivated? These guys actually sponsored an individual who ran down every single person in this country. Every chief was insulted. Every pastor was insulted. You dare not cross him. You dare not, all of you were insulted. This media house, he insulted almost everybody, all of you. He came into this country, was given a red carpet, given national security protection, walked in and walked out. So, and then the vulnerable ones who also have equal rights are being arrested. It saddens my heart. And let me tell you where the biggest problem is. The biggest problem is the abuse of the rights of these people that they even arrest. Today, as we speak in this country, the truth of the matter is that there is some subtle introduction of oppression by the NDC government on all classes of people in the society, not just MPP. And that, for me, is a worry. You wake up in the morning, and there is a news. What has happened? A woman has been picked up from Bronga Hafo and brought to Accra to the CID headquarters. What is the offense? Oh, she was on TikTok and she was insulting the president. She was on TikTok and she was insulting the vice president. She was on TikTok and she was insulting a minister. That's a problem. It's a big problem. Because when we're writing the laws and the rules of this country, we knew what is allowable and what
Bank of Africa and the Ghana Association of Banks say shine your eye. If you don't share it, they can't have it. Spot the fraud and stop the fraud. And Franco Trading Enterprise still phone papa fee. Happy birthday to my dear friend Mr. Materia. Happy birthday to you from the whole family. Happy birthday going to Mrs. Edith Ado, Crab House in Kaneshi. Happy birthday to Emmanuel Funya, aka Wild of Boso and Mumboso. God bless you always. We all love you. And happy birthday to Dr. Edwina Opariloko, a family health physician. This is from Professor Edward Atta Botre. And happy blessed birthday to Mrs. Matilda Hammond. You are 55 years old today. You are the sales manager at Brussels Airlines. And happy birthday to the CEO of Leonant Yet LY, Mr. Ni Okai Nunu. We thank you for your vision, leadership, and dedicated commitment to LY. We wish you God's continued blessings, good health, strength, and many more years of success from all staff of Leonant Yet to you, Mr. Ni Okai Nunu. And the final birthday wish goes to the great Teresa Ayoade, MD of Charterhouse. Today is your birthday, Auntie Teresa. Teresa Ayoade, champion woman. Happy birthday going out to you, Teresa. If I had time, I would have played the song for you. But all the same, enjoy the day. We are bringing you the Sports Center now, which is brought to you by MTN. Switch to MTN's eSIM. Download my MTN app to go seamless today. Standard Chartered Bank here for good, and DSTV, your home of entertainment. High senses, everyday prices for everyday people. And sometimes the big moments start with small things: a call to a loved one, a Momo transaction to support family, a bundle to grow your business. But what if they could lead to something bigger than you ever imagined? Yes, with the MTN at 30 promo, every call, every text, every browse, every Momo transaction, every connection to home fiber, and every activity on the My MTN app earns you points towards amazing rewards, including 9 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prados, over 10 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes, and unforgettable experiences just for you. It's because every move counts. Dial *530# or use my MTN app to participate now, and let's stay connected everywhere you go. MTN at 30 promo. Make every move count. Terms and conditions apply. And for over 130 years, Standard Chartered has been more than a bank. They've been a partner in progress, from helping establish Ghana's financial system to building businesses and connecting them to the world. From helping generations grow and protect their wealth to powering innovation and helping communities to thrive. Today, Standard Chartered stands on 130 years of heritage to power your ambitions and unlock opportunities. Partner with Standard Chartered and achieve more by partnering together. Standard Chartered is here for good. Let me tell you about Hisense and how they are making sure that you get all your televisions, refrigerators, chest freezers, air conditioners, the complete lifestyle range at your doorstep. They've opened branches in East Legon, in Kisiman, in Achimota Mall, North Industrial Area, Accra, Opera Square, Accra Tudu, Dansuman, La Paz, West Hills Mall, Broadcasting, Kasua, Bachona, Junction Mall, Tema Community 1, Tema Community 25, Amrahia, Afienya, Matayiko, Hacho, in Kumasi, Kumasi Edum, Kumasi City Mall, Edum Post Office, Tafo, Kumasi Tano, Sunyai. Hisense is everywhere. And you buy quality stuff from them, and you still enjoy up to a 5-year manufacturer defect warranty on the products. Hisense is best for quality, best for durability, best for energy efficiency, best for affordability, best for style, and best for technology. Call them on 0302 550000 or visit hisense.com.gh. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people. Kojo, take over.
Charlie, thank you for yesterday. I spoke to the salespeople, and some of your friends who you mentioned have started getting in touch.
You should give me something.
And I'm talking about the Joy Sports Invitational and the companies that are already signing up for this year's event that starts on the 29th of August at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Look, last year, Joy Sports analyst Philip Sichofeatrim was one of the event's moderators. He praised the more than 50 participating companies for their cooperation and has encouraged more organizations to take advantage of the platform the tournament provides.
Obviously, I mean, it was a good event. Lots of the companies, corporate world showed up. It was really competitive. You know, sometimes you think it's just going to be the fun, but everybody really wanted to win, so they brought on that competitive edge, and everything was, you know, fun and smooth. And I like the fact that they're also very receptive and respectful of, you know, rules. Yeah. Easy to work with. I won't say control, but easy to work with. Once the instructions are given through the speakers, they adhere to it. So yeah, come on board a lot more. Let's have more fun this year because it's going to be bigger and better. So yeah, sure.
Joy Sports analyst Philip Sichofeatrim. He is regular on Game Plan and on Sports Zone. Now, more companies are also signing up, and your company can be part of it by contacting Slevin on 0242 376 445. 0242 376 445, or simply send a WhatsApp message to that same number or direct phone call, and Slevin will be on hand to complete the process for you. You could also alternatively pick up your registration forms at the front desk of Joy FM here at Kokomlemle. Next is WAFCON 2026. Inside WAFCON on the Joy Sports Center is brought to you in association with Bank of Africa and Goldfields Ghana Limited. Malawi, they've booked their spot in the Women's African Cup of Nations quarters despite a 2-1 defeat to Zambia in their final Group C match on Wednesday. The Scorchers progressed on goal difference after a dramatic finish to the group, edging defending champions Nigeria to top spot. Nigeria also advanced after a 6-2 win over Egypt at the Rabat Olympic Stadium. Malawi, Nigeria and Zambia finished level on 6 points, but CAF's head-to-head mini-league tiebreaker ignored results against Egypt, including Zambia's 6-0 win, and that's how come they failed to qualify. So with points and head-to-head goal difference still level, qualification was decided by goals scored in matches among the 3 tied teams. So Malawi had 4, Nigeria had 3, and Zambia had 2. A late Malawi consolation goal is what proved decisive, sending them through and eliminating Zambia from both WAFCON and the 2027 Women's World Cup race. Moving on, Ghana is in action later tonight, and we're taking on Mali in a game that the Black Queens must avoid defeat to progress to the last 8 of the competition. Yesterday, the team held its final training session ahead of the game. Here's a preview by Lawrence Bedu from Morocco.
3 points from their opening 2 games leaves them in second position, but that place could elude them if they lose to Mali, who they face in their final group game. A win or draw is good enough for the Black Queens to advance into the next round of the competition. You can see behind me the team going through their final preparations ahead of that game against Mali, which is of much importance to Kimlas Bjerkegren and then the rest of the team.
It's not negative to know that 1 point will be enough for the quarterfinal, but in the same time we need to build the confidence. We need to improve, and that's one reason that we're going to go for the win tomorrow.
He has mentioned at his press conference about the importance of this game and how crucial it will be to their chances of keeping alive World Cup qualification hopes, as well as maybe fighting for the ultimate trophy for the very first time after missing out on the trophy 3 times when they made the final. For Jennifer Kojo, she goes back to games played between these two sides and knows how well Mali have been, considering they've also won one and then lost another in the competition.
I think the loss was very hurtful because we know what we can do. Everybody knows how we play and everything. And I think we didn't show up how the way we wanted to. So it was a bit hard, but we know that we have days to get it out of our system. Every single one of the girls are ready and they want to come out and show the Ghanaians and then the country, like, when we here, people know what we can do. So that's what we're going to show on Thursday.
From Stade Perejego, Lawrence Beidou for Joy Sports.
The Black Queens versus Mali and Cameroon versus Cape Verde, also in Group D. Both games are happening at 8 p.m. tonight in Casablanca, Cameroon. They are group winners and will face Nigeria in the quarterfinal, or Ghana face Malawi if we progress, or should I say when we progress, because pretty confident that the Black Queens will make it. Well, that's it for Inside WAFCON on the Joy Sports Center, which is brought to you in association with Bank of Africa and Goldfields Ghana Limited. Let's talk some club football. And Mediama SC, they stepped up their preparations for the new season with a winning start to their pre-season camp in Ivory Coast. The Ghana Premier League champions beat Yamoussoukro FC by 2-1 in their first friendly on Wednesday. First half goals from Abdul Salam and Dominic Amponsa sealed the victory at the School Scientific de Yamoussoukro field. Here's Mediama boss Ibrahim Tanko.
This is the first game, like you said, in Abidjan, and we managed to win 2-1. I think, like I said, first game we have to watch the video and then look at the mistakes and the positives that we have done and then keep on working.
Ibrahim Tanko is head coach at Mediama SC. Kumasi Asante Kotoko also continue their preparations for the new season at their Adakujachi Training Center under new coach Eric Tinkler. Former Ghana and Kotoko midfielder Emmanuel Ajimabedu praised the appointment of the South African, but has urged the club to act fast in signing players.
Asante Kotoko, well, I don't know the kind of thing they will bring this year, but I think the kind of coach that they have brought on board will ease a bit of pressure because he's well experienced in North African football. His base in the game is very, 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 very high, and he disciplines footballers. That is the most important thing. But on the market, I think they are still slow. Maybe they are doing things underground that they don't want people to know. But
elsewhere, FIFA has apologized to its member associations over mistakes made in its abandoned proposal to sell commercial rights linked to the World Cup. The apology came after a crisis meeting in Morocco where FIFA's leadership reaffirmed its full support for President Gianni Infantino. The governing body also admitted the handling of the withdrawn FIFA Forward Enterprise proposal should have been different. There's more in the Sky Sports reports.
Gianni Infantino is fighting on as FIFA president. That seems to be the message following hours of emergency talks with his senior staff in Morocco. And there wasn't just defiance, there was an apology for attempting to sell off shares in the World Cup to private investors, but also a warning to critics to shut up now. We've obtained this letter sent by Gianni Infantino and his Secretary General Matthias Grafton to the FIFA Vice President and members of the Council, and in it does say that the Secretary General and Management Board in attendance in Morocco, what about those who weren't there, reaffirm their full support for Infantino. They do talk about what led to the announcement of the attempts to sell shares in the World Cup, and this is what the letter says. We acknowledge mistakes were made in the process of the proposed establishment of FIFA Forward Enterprise. It was certainly not the intention for the FIFA Council and FIFA member associations to feel excluded from the process, and it should have been handled differently.
Yeah, there was that Sky Sports report on the happenings at FIFA and yesterday's meeting. In club football, Mikhailo Mudryk made his first appearance for Chelsea in 20 months as a substitute in Wednesday's 1-0 defeat by Juventus in Hong Kong. Arsenal were beaten by 3-1 by Real Betis in their pre-season friendly in Dublin, and Ghana forward Antoine Semenyo was also involved in all 3 goals as Manchester City beat the K-League Stars 3-1 in Australia, ending the Joy Sports Centre. Kojo.
Thank you, Achu, for bringing us the Joy Sports Center. It's now time for us to bring you Food for Thought, which is brought to you by Riverman Productions. The difference. Uncle Ebo.
Kojo, I like your top.
Vidasi. It is from Where Ghana and Republic of Africa. In fact, it's the same thing I wear every day in different colors.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Plus the other one you brought to me, you know.
and this one is also kente. Does this have a kente motif?
No, it's got batik and tie and
the batakari motif.
No, just batik or tie and dye. That's what they usually would mix with the fabric.
Okay. Because I know you do this motif of for most of your dresses.
Yes, because I believe that we need to dress to support the economy. I'll not go and buy suits from other countries to create jobs for them. So I'll buy clothes from Ghanaian producers to create jobs here.
All right, good for you. Kojo, yesterday I was at the British Council for the launch of 2 books by Madame Gloria Boydoku of Deloitte and Touche. Congratulations, Mrs. Boydoku of Deloitte and Touche. 2 books at the same time. Well done. And then today happens to be the 10th anniversary of one of my partners, one of the companies that have supported Roverman in the last few years, Koba, or to give their full name, Harges Financial Technology, but otherwise known as Koba.
Yeah.
So to the board, the management and staff of Koba, congratulations. To the founder and chief solutions architect, Mr. Nelson Segla, congratulations. And to the CEO, Eli Hine, congratulations. Now, this morning, I want to take you back to South Central, where I was raised. I was a quiet, timid boy with very little social skills. I wasn't articulate. I wasn't assertive. And I kept my thoughts to myself. I was the boy who walked away from anything when it got tense or uncomfortable. And I wasn't good with comebacks. I was not the kind of boy who could think on his feet. A lot of the boys in my neighborhood were very good at banter and comebacks. I wasn't one of them. I was slow, and so I could understand when 30 years after we had left school, one of my classmates from elementary school said to me, "James, we thought you were retarded." Could you, if I put it in a can, it will even be more interesting. He said, "James, would any cast you Jimmy on?"
Oh.
Yeah, this was a boy I've beat in every subject from class 1 to form 3.
Oh, Charlie.
So that was me as a boy. But something happened that shocked even me, and I want to tell you about it. My father had a son before he met my mother. The marriage to that boy's mother had collapsed years before my mother came into the picture. And the woman had taken custody of her son. When my kid brother, Kweku, and I were born, my mother decided that it would be good for us to have a big brother to look up to. And so she persuaded my father to go and bring his son to join us at South. My father did not want to do it. He feared the boy could be a bad influence on us. but my mother would not drop the matter. Finally, my father gave in to the pressure and went for the boy to join us. Let me call him BY. Now, just a note to help you understand the story better. My father did not live with us at South. He kept his place at Fanti Newtown. And BY was with us at South. BY was 18 when he joined us. And I was 10. Kweku was 7. The others were much younger. I loved him. He was very well built and strong and a very good footballer. And when a boxing gym opened at South, BY became its first champion. He could beat anyone in South and its surrounding suburbs. Unfortunately for my mother, BY hated her from the start. I was too young to understand what pardon me. I was too young to understand what his problem was. All I knew was that his attitude caused my mother a lot of pain. But she could not complain to my father. Neither could she send him away, because she had pressured my father to let him come and live with us. Finally, after 4 years of living with us and creating hell for my mother, BY decided to return to his mother, and he decided to cause confusion before leaving. He knew I adored him. He also knew that I was slow, and so he decided that he would get at my mother by poisoning my mind against her. He knew I was not my mother's favorite, and so I'm sure he reasoned that it would be very easy to recruit me to join him in his hatred against my mother. So one day, a few days before he left, he invited me into his room after my mother had left for the market and said, "Kwabena, do you know that your mother is a witch?" My mother is a witch? I said, as my mind tried to make sense of what he had said. He continued, "Your mother is a witch, and she's using her witchcraft to destroy you. So you have to be on your guard, or you will not amount to anything in life, because she is determined to destroy you." Now, remember, I've told you that I was slow, that I did not know how to talk, and that I usually did not confront issues, but avoided them. But this time, something strange happened. I asked BY, "Which mother are we talking about?" The question irritated him, but he was on a mission, and so he had to restrain himself. He said, "How many mothers do you have?" "I mean your mother, Antiama." I said, "You mean the woman who carried me for 9 months in her womb?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You mean the same woman who nourished me as a baby with her breast milk?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You mean the same woman who feeds me every day and nurses me back to health when I'm ill?" He said, "Yes." By now, he was wondering where I was going with all those questions. But I also think that since he perceived me as slow, he was being patient to give me the chance to get what he had said fully. Then I said, "If that is the woman we are talking about, then she has earned the right to do whatever she wants with me, because without her, there will be no me. So if she has brought me into this world and has sacrificed and continues to sacrifice so much for me, and now wants to destroy me with her witchcraft, then I'm cool with that. She has earned the right to do so." Kojo, it has been 60 years since that encounter with BY, my half brother, but I can still remember the shock and confusion on his face. He was not expecting that to come from me. In fact, I did not expect that to come from me. That was not the me I had known, the me whom the neighbors and even my mother despised for being slow. He looked at me for a long time with his mouth open. Then he said, "Kobna, is that what you would say?" Under normal circumstances, I would have mumbled something and left his room. But this time, I stood my ground, looked him in the face, and said, "Yes, my mother has earned the right to do whatever she wants to and with me." And then I walked out. Looking back 60 years later, I wonder what got into me. I wonder where the reply came from. Where did the courage to face my big brother, half-brother, come from? You know, we say that God orders our steps, but I believe that God sometimes orders what our lips need to say. But there is a bigger issue from this incident. I am alarmed at how often people allow themselves to be manipulated by people who do not really have their interests at heart. And under that manipulation, get them to destroy good relationships. I know a case of a man who threw his beautiful wife and 2 wonderful little children out of his house because a prophetess told him that his wife was a witch and had infected the children with it too.
Oh.
I know siblings who do not talk with each other because someone whispered something to one of them, and that has poisoned the relationship completely. You know, we all get all kinds of reports from all kinds of people affecting people in our lives and people around us. Let us be careful what we hear about those we love and those who love us. Let us be careful whose report we work with. I tell you, it is very easy to allow yourself to be manipulated. Let us appreciate and value those we love and those who love us. And let us not make it easy for anyone to put a wedge between us and those we love. And Kojo, that is my presentation for this morning.
Very deep presentation, as usual. My late uncle, Kokukuma Boateng, once told me that your mother will be your first physical experience of God and your Creator.
That's true.
She's my God. She's the God I saw first when I was born.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know there's a saying that God could not be everywhere, so he created mothers.
Yes. So this morning, look, call your mother and say hello. If you've not spoken to her in a long time, those of you whose mothers are alive, just give them a call, send some momo, let her shout, Mensa Uncle, thank you so much for the message this morning.
Have a great week.
You too, Uncle. Enjoy the weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Enjoy the weekend. Yeah. That was Food for Thought with Uncle Ibo White. I'm sure we've all learned something from him this morning. It brings us to 8:04. It's time for the Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. CBG, we stand with you. Anointed Engineering Services, The Generator Experts, Palladium Residences, Live Smart, Invest Better, SkySat Technologies, Performance That Delivers, and Pegasus Publishing, Shaping Minds, Winning Futures. And if you are looking for the best generators, Anointed is the place to go. Talk to them, get 5-year warranty. If you want to train your child or yourself, take them to the training school that trains students on generators and plant, auto mechanics, electricals, controls, and solar installations. Get 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. Call Anointed on 024-348-0334. Anointed, the generator experts.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the Joy Business Minutes, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana, Anointed Engineering Services, Palladium Residences, SkySat Technologies, and Pegasus Publishing.
Governments can borrow up to $1.3 billion on the international capital market in a year. This is part of a new debt strategy agreement reached with the International Monetary Fund. Head of Finance at Morgan Capital, Nelson Kojo says the Bank of Ghana is directing for all banks to reduce non-performing loans to 10% or below by December 2026 is achievable if commercial banks can take decisive action now. And economist Professor Patrick Isumen has stated that it's time to manage the demand for dollars due to high importation of basic goods. The Bank of Ghana is set to inject up to $1 billion into the foreign exchange market this month through its forex intermediation program as the Ghana cedi faces renewed pressure from increased dollar demand. And that's all for the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank of Ghana, Anointed Engineering Services, Palladium Residencies, SkySat Technologies, and Pegasus Publishing.
That was the Joy Business Report. It's 8:06. My name is Kojo, Akoto Boateng. I'm still here with the great Kweku Asante. Kweku, good morning.
Yeah.
Once again.
I'm still here.
Charlie, the way I want it, when him way you would see no what to when him straight is a motorway. I know what you
say. Minima does one.
And what's your Kayumo?
Oh no, natural hair. Oh, be up. I'm social media.
Look, my colleague here, my brother and colleague, Waku Unity, and what's in the name square. And what's your Kayumo? If you want to see how handsome Kweku looks this morning, just go online and join our stream online. Our big stories this morning brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies, Lancaster University, the only British university campus in West Africa, and Awake Natural Mineral Water. We are talking about the anniversary of the demise of Dr. Omane Boama, Mr. Murtala Muhammad. Help me with the other names. Mr. Samuel Sapon
and Bafemi Peter Anala. He was with the Ghana Armed Forces and all of that. In fact, let me get you the specific names. So,
yes, we
course,
lost
Edward Omane Boama,
yes.
Defense Minister, like you mentioned. Alhaji Murtala Muhammad,
yes.
Environment Minister. Alhaji Muniru Muhammad, National
yes.
Security.
Mr. Samuel Sapon, former KMA boss.
Yes, Samuel Sapon, NDC's Vice Chair at the time.
Yeah.
And then Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Mane Chum Ampedu, Sergeant Ernest Adomensa, and in fact all these had posthumous promotions to the next rank at the time. So these were the 8 people that perished
and for me,
on that morning.
My question is, these were not ordinary people. These were people important to their political party, which is the NDC, a vice chair of the NDC, the party with the governing with the government, national security,
yes,
minister for environment, cabinet minister, defense minister.
Yeah,
now, the defense minister who passed on, he wasn't also a regular politician.
Yeah.
He was one of the key strategists who got the government into office.
Yeah.
He was described as a friend of the president.
Yeah.
So if we lose these 8 people and we say never again, yet what they died for is still happening, who do we blame?
Yeah.
And in tree we say Yakoyana say Yabaye. And I still want to ask, who has the ultimate authority? Who has been clothed with the powers of the state to ensure that we put in place a strategy, we allocate resources, and fight the fight? Who appoints the chief of defense staff?
The president.
Who appoints the IGP? Who appoints national security? Who ensures that when there is a conversation about budget and allocations and there should be a priority and a veto, who has that veto? So why is it that a year on we still have Galamsey happening like nothing happened? Yes, we have some arrests, some 12 people arrested here, but how many more acres of land has been destroyed for Galamsey? How many more rivers have been polluted? How many people have lost their livelihoods? And how much more heavy metals have we consumed in that particular period, which is going to reduce our life expectancy from 66 to about 55? And who is actually doing the work? Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. You see, for me, the Galamsey, because it's an existential threat.
Yeah.
You remember how Nane Akufo-Addo used to do fellow Ghanaians?
Yeah.
COVID was an existential threat for us, right? So he was giving us updates on the regular. If I were the minister or if I was in government, I'm sure I would give a weekly update on Galamsey and tell Ghanaians, When I took over, 50,000 hectares had been destroyed. Over the past 3 months, I've been able to restore 10,000. We've been able to arrest these people. These are the challenges we've been encountering, and this is how we. But do you get the sense that Galamsey is a national priority problem?
Yeah, it's almost like a very laissez-faire attitude. It's almost like it's any of our problems, but the very existential nature of it, you don't sense it. I mean, when Erastus did that report of babies that were being born with deformities, how large swathe of land had been completely destroyed. And you look at it from the sky, you look at the river, the turbidity level, I saw a picture, the sea, just the so many meters in the sea, and it's just polluted like that. And you don't get the sense that we are treating it as the very serious national crisis that it is. That mercury, other things are being poured into a river. There are places. I mean, here we open our taps and we drink water. We think we are good. We buy Belacqua, you buy some water, you are good. There are people that are just taking this same water that is polluted, heavily polluted, and you are drinking it directly.
Like last week, we were talking about Galamsey in dollar power.
Yeah.
Around the Savannah region. Dollar power, which is threatening the Bui Dam.
The Bui Dam.
Dollar power.
This thing in Kuma Ashanti region, I've forgotten in Lake Bottom Tree. Somebody was doing illegal mining just at the mouth of it. And then
if you go to Obuasi, the Oda River, which feeds the dam that Ghana Water uses to process water for people in it's the Cape Coast Road. There's this also so what is happening, Mr. President? This is coming to you directly. Mr. President, Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you said you know the people, you said your people are involved, you said you are going to prioritize this, you said you had lost gallant men, you said your friend had died. Where are we, Mr. President? Where are we, Mr. President? And you mentioned Awake Mineral Water Kuku earlier. Yes, Awake is still awakening.
Yes.
If you want correct mineral water to drink, yes, you have to get Awake. Every day your body needs clean, refreshing water. And Awake water is carefully produced to keep you refreshed and hydrated. It's purified, it's refreshed, and it's purpose driven. And what I like about Awake is the fact that it's produced by Kasapreko, our own Kasapreko. We all own Kasapreko. And beyond that, they donate an amount of money to the National Cardiothoracic Center at Kolebu anytime you buy a bottle of Awake to help people with cardiovascular diseases. Drink water, drink Awake, supports a national cause. And this advert is FDA approved.
It is time to take a step up, transform your business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business. At Telecel Business, we make it easy to connect, communicate, digitize, and convert with reliable solutions tailored to businesses of all sizes. They connected with our dedicated internet, business, broadband, LOT, and TAR co-location services. Communicate seamlessly with affordable mobile, fixed, and roaming plans to digitize your operations and reach more customers with our innovative digital services. Converge everything effortlessly with one business, an all-in-one solution for simplicity and convenience. Visit the nearest Telecel retail store or go to telecel.com.gh /business to get started. Telecel, connecting opportunities, connecting goals, connecting businesses.
Social media messages on the show brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, number 10 liver salt, a refreshing relief. Cowbell coffee with you every moment, and EcoBank understands how money moves. It's airtime sent to a sister, the transport money for dad, support for a cousin's education, contribution towards family funeral, and a helping hand when it matters most. And in Ghana, money is more than a transaction. It's people supporting people, families helping families, and communities involved moving forward together. That's why there's EcoBank, a bank built for the way Ghanaians and Africans move money. So if you want to move money across 34 African countries within Ghana, pay your bills, you can transfer money, access ATM services, manage your finances anytime, anywhere with the EcoBank mobile app. You can also use the USSD *770#, EcoBank Online, and the EcoBank ATMs nationwide. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. This message says, forget about the agencies, the police, and all the people you are talking about. It's the attitude of Ghanaians. We are all extortionists. I've stopped going to the washing bay because attendants will struggle with you, and they will demand their tips from you after you've already paid about 50 cedis to wash your car. When you ask them how much it is, they'll say, company G50. Meaning you have to add something to the thing. This is the Ghanaian attitude. Nobody is willing to serve you if you don't pay them. And this is just from Wager. We'll bring some more of your messages and elevate the conversation shortly. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Wakadri, and I'm a man of many voices. Some people fall for Pamela.
Good afternoon, this is Pamela. We're revalidating some mobile app accounts. Kindly confirm your details.
Or my other victims who think I'm calling from.
Hello, customer experience here. Your account has been blocked. Please provide your PIN so we can reactivate it immediately.
Others panic and fall for that one.
Dear customer, click the link in the SMS we just sent you to upgrade to your ATM services.
My favorites are the ones who click first and think later.
Be honest, like play, you could also fall for this. Stay safe. Remember, EcoBank will never call, email or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card or Ghana card details. Pay attention to detail.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro.
The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Hey, fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and fufu?
How we go do it?
I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Oh, yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Sharp. Anyway, sorry to ruin your excitement, but your boss asked of you.
Okay.
She says she has plenty work for you.
No problem, Charlie. Strength day.
You see,
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing Artemether and lumefantrine. Comes in tablet and suspension for the effective treatment of malaria in adults and children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Malatu is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Gino Pepe, how jolly hot la la, natural red color, same intense flavor. Gino Pepe powder, make jolly a jankasa. No MSG, no salt, no preservatives. Gino Pepe powder, truly hot, oh la la. Consistent heat, put air fryer, over filio. Gino Pepper powder, make jolly a jankasa.
The name you trust, Gino Hot Pepper Powder, truly hot. This advert is FDA approved.
Introducing the new Comfort Afterwash for Clothes. Contains a formula that makes clothes smell fresh and looking like brand new. After washing, add comfort.
And the last time I made this point, and it generated some debate. If I tell you, Evans, you're a fool, I have every right under the laws of this country to say you are a fool. If you think you are not a fool, and you believe calling you a fool is denigrating, the law says that you, Evans, can take me on in a civil suit in court and seek for redress to clean up the bad name I've given you. That is what the law says. Mm-hmm. The law doesn't say that Evans can go to the police or the security agencies and go and tell them to arrest Miracles. That is what the laws are. If we feel that we've gotten to a point where calling Miracles a fool or calling Evans a fool should be criminalized, let's put it in our statutes. Let's put it in our laws. But if the laws have not been drafted in that manner, and we are currently seeing a situation where I can insult Evans and nothing will happen to me, but if I insult somebody that I've gone to queue to vote for to come and serve me, then the laws are jailing me for a year. Evans, that we are jailing citizens for 1 year because of insults. There's a big difference between threats and insults. The law says that threats are unlawful. The law knows the reason why it did that sharp separation between threats and insults. Mm-hmm. And so if somebody threatens you, the law has a process to deal with that person. When somebody insults you, the law has a process. But the current situation where people are being bundled center, left, right, because they are saying things that are not palatable in the minds or in the ears of people in power, that is a problem.
Let's talk about the New Patriotic Party to start with, because you've lived and breathed New Patriotic Party. It's in your blood. I mean, the first time I engaged you were municipal, for Kwiapim, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tomorrow, the party decided to call a demonstration. I mean, what I've come to know is the NDC and MPP, they do not call demonstrations lightly. I mean, you rarely will see an NDC demonstration called by the party at the highest level, and you rarely will see an MPP demonstration like that. So, first of all, let me understand in very clear terms, why has the party decided to take all of us, Ghanaians, onto the street tomorrow?
Evans, you see, if you follow this country's history, all the way from the colonial era, right through to pre-independence, post-independence, to the current fourth Republican democracy that we have, you'd realize that there has never been a point in the life of this country's history that the people have allowed themselves to be oppressed. Never. Even in the ancient days, the country was formed on the back of wars and survival. And so if we ever get that sign of oppression from leadership at any point in time, it is extremely important that as a people, we always recollect where we have come from. And that is why if you recite our pledge and our anthems, it's usually mixed with fighting oppressors' rule, because the country resists oppression at all times.
Their death shook the core of the nation. A routine mission ended in an unimaginable loss. For weeks, the country brooded over the sudden demise of 8 of its gallant citizens, including cabinet ministers. A helicopter carrying men committed to national duty never completed its journey. The Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omanebwama, the Environment Minister, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, 3 other top government officials, and 3 crew members never returned.
On the morning of the Wednesday, I called you and I told you that I woke up very sad. I do not know why. Immediately, your first solution to everything, which was prayer, was what you suggested. You prayed, and you said you had a flight to Obuasi, and you'll be back. I'm still waiting.
The painful demise left behind grieving families, shattered dreams, and a nation searching for meaning in tragedy.
In this final farewell, I would also like again to thank the 8 officers and personnel, our comrades, our friends, our brothers, for the love, dedication, and service that they give to this country. I pray that this funeral will bring closure to a grieving nation, and that today we pray that this will be the beginning as the Almighty God heals our land.
Time has moved on, but the pain has not. For many Ghanaians, the echoes of that tragic day still linger. The memory of those who perished continue to inspire solemn reflection on the national fight against illegal mining.
I can confirm to you that you are going to see a fight that has never been witnessed in this country. President Mahama is going to lead a very ruthless and relentless campaign against Galamsey. He has not minced words at all. We had a brief cabinet meeting earlier today, and the president was very clear. There was no ambiguity that he will be leading a war that we have never seen to deal with this canker, this existential threat, once and for all.
The departed 8 were on a national assignment in a renewed fight to eradicate illegal mining through the Responsible Community Mining and Skills Development Program.
On that note, the Responsible Cooperative Mining and
Skills Development Program has been launched. Kabori.
The program is a national initiative that empowers mining cooperatives and small-scale miners through training, innovation, and responsible practices. The goal is to transform mining into a force for safe, inclusive, and environmentally responsible development.
Na sa police fo na omo bawo sa soldier fo no bawo samre no efi na ekọ no ye pese ye twa so President Mahama simi mbra me kan kire mo se na ban onchi mining kra o pese ye mining o pese mabunu ye mining nemom ye nyina ye nsi abutra ne ye kire mo ekwanpa moya ebe ye mfa so na nye wuo mayen.
But a year after its launch, has the country won the Galamsey war at all?
If you look at the essence of what they had gone there to do, the fact that for Dr. Omane Boama and what I know that he stood for in the quest for fighting the illegality, making sure that we will bring an end to the illegality, and the support that he gave the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Unfortunately, I think we have failed them, because the best testament, the best tribute that we could have paid to them was to make their blood count.
In the last year, the initiative has registered over 9,000 miners and 700 cooperatives across 8 mining regions of the country.
The fight against illegal mining remains one of the ministry's highest priorities. During the period under review, NIMOS sustained nationwide operational tempo against illegal mining across 6 endemic regions. A total of 200 operations were executed across 53 districts, recording an operational strike rate of over 84%. I think we can appear in steam.
While the government touts its achievements in the Galamsey fight, many rivers snaking through the country remain dirty and forest reserves dotted with open pits.
Recently, in a town called Ahiri, we chanced upon an irresponsible mining activity just inches close to the Esiwa Road. When we tried to find out, they told us that they have a letter from Comsdep and that one is a cooperative mining scheme. But when you look at what they are doing on the ground, that is pure Galamsey, pure irresponsible mining. They are destroying the wetlands, they are polluting the Subri or the Subin River. That is not cooperative mining. That is not sustainable mining. That is not what these people died trying to bring forward.
Across Ghana, in the western north, Ashanti, central, eastern, Bono and Hafu regions, illegal mining is eating life away from the lands, water bodies and other natural resources. Illegal miners continue to operate with impunity, excavating the earth crust close to roads and in forest covers while local authorities watch on.
River got for back police for back. And fell for so bad job, my dear. And nothing or Kojo. Yeah.
Why is car?
A recent video which surfaced on social media showed some youth in one of the coastal communities fetching and washing sand along the beach in search of gold. An aerial view of the country's water bodies reveal major rivers, once crystal clear, suffocating with heavy siltation and the scarlet effluent from the mining activities. Aquatic life and biodiversity are at the mercy of humans' unrelenting quest for wealth.
You are fighting with soldiers here. You say you can fight us. You are holding weapons. Where's the pump action?
At least a total of 163 persons have been convicted.
Breed of other people. This is Stoneboy, Livingston, Greedy Men. It's 8:30 a.m. This is the Super Morning Show.
Think about the future, children.
If you just tuned in today, we are talking about the first anniversary of the demise of the 8 public officials who we're traveling to Obuasi for that community mining event that resulted in their deaths. Now we are reflecting on the things that have happened since then, the things that happened before, and the things that we must do to make their loss not just a loss, but a loss that enables us to learn lessons and do right for ourselves and future generations. Exactly a year after the Z9 military helicopter crash that claims the lives of 2 ministers and 6 others, we revisit the tragedy, the national grief, and the mission that continues to raise difficult questions.
As reports of a missing military helicopter began circulating, uncertainty gripped the nation. Hours later, the Ghana Armed Forces confirmed the aircraft had lost control with radar.
I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning.
The helicopter had crashed near Adanse in the Ashanti region, killing all 8 occupants. Among those who lost their lives were Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omane Boama, Environment Minister Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator Alhaji Limuna Mohammed Muniru, senior military officers and crew. The delegation had been heading to Obuasi to launch a program designed to transform Ghana's artisanal and small-scale mining sector and help curb illegal mining. As rescue teams secured the crash site, another painful reality emerged. The bodies had been burnt beyond recognition. The following day, the remains were flown to South Africa for DNA identification.
We need to do further examination and investigation just for the avoidance of doubt.
President John Mahama later addressed the nation, declaring 3 days of national mourning and announcing a national memorial in honor of the departed.
On Saturday, 9th August at 5 p.m., the nation will gather at the forecourt of the State House for an evening of reflection and memorial in honor of our departed colleagues.
On the 9th of August, families, colleagues, and state officials gathered for a national memorial service. Days later, the nation bade a final farewell at a state funeral marked by military honors, solemn tributes, and overwhelming grief.
You died knowing God, and that there's rest for you until we meet again.
1 year later, the pain of that loss remains. But beyond the grief lies a question that still demands an answer. The departed 8 were not traveling on a ceremonial assignment. They were on a mission to launch a program intended to strengthen the fight against illegal mining, one of Ghana's most destructive environmental and economic challenges. 12 months on, has that mission achieved the impact they envisioned? Has Ghana made meaningful progress in formalizing small-scale mining, protecting its forests and rivers, and reducing the devastation caused by Galamsey? Or does the mission that claims 8 lives remain unfinished? Nancy Kumsis reports for Joy News.
Ghana manba Umamayembo asase a yen nananum de jaw yen huban na inchirimba ambre
A year on, 8 lives lost, fathers, brothers, friends, sons, public servants, soldiers, they died. A year on, what lessons have we learned? What changes have we made? What gains have we made? I'll go on the lines to talk to my brother, friend, colleague, Erastus Koku Asari Donko. Erastus, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
How are you this morning?
Jehovah has been good to us. We are still alive.
When it gets to the Galamsey conversation, I sometimes find it difficult to talk to you as a journalist because I've worked with you before and I know how passionate you are about Galamsey. I've been to the fields with you before and I know how the emotional toll is hard on you and your career. A year after the 8 people died, your reflections, if you even want to rant, go ahead.
Well, 8 lives and with one sole responsibility to contribute to the fight against illegal mining, to make it better. So if we put it in clear context, they were on a mission to make sure that we add a cooperative initiative where the teeming youth, Boase will get a job to do in terms of sustainable mining. And that's what gave birth to the cooperative mining idea, so that people will mine responsibly within communities. Communities will own the mining, and they will be able to replace that with a wanton destruction of forest and pollution of water bodies. I wish I could say that the memory of these gallant members of society has been served well. But unfortunately, no, we haven't. We have tried, but we have not succeeded. Government set up the NIMOS. The NIMOS under the previous commander did what they wanted to do. But we have come back to square one. I would say that we made some momentous progress in the area of protecting the forest reserves. And so for some time, the people who were armed and were invading forest reserves rapidly reduced. But we're getting back to the status quo. Just this week, 3 days ago, the Forestry Commission Rapid Response Team had to go in and arrest 12 illegal miners in the Bosomchi Range Forest Reserve, where they've taken over and have divided themselves into 4 groups, mining and destroying that forest reserve. When you go around Lake Bosomchi, you find out that such a sacred place that is protected by both tradition and government has been taken over. The people were arrested and then they came back, mining in the night, destroying such a valuable place, few inches to the lake. Now you go to settlements, towns. I reported something within the last 3 days in Apija, where people have turned the tributaries of the Densu River in the town itself, in the middle of the town, under the blessing of 3 chiefs within that enclave. They are mining the towns only tributary to the Densu, and they are destroying it with impunity. When I reported, as I speak with you, they are still mining within the town itself.
On the Accra Kumasi Highway.
In the eastern region.
Yes, Accra Kumasi Highway on the N6.
N6.
You just
yes,
a little bit.
And I wanted to get you the specific area where they are mining, but they are there as we speak. When you go to Brekum, the whole place has been taken over. It's as if there is no chief in Brekum. Go to Doma. Recently, Naimos was there, and I thought that they could contain the situation. Oh, the people are back within the town itself, and controlled by tradition itself. The chiefs are now supporting illegal mining within their enclaves. Go to Ahiring, the inches away from the main Bekwai Esiwa Road. People are mining under the guise of cooperative mining. The very reason why these men had to die. That is the most painful part. The very reason why these people had to die, so that we could set up a cooperative mining scheme that is doing sustainable mining. Now people are coming under the cooperative mining initiative, and they are using that to destroy communities. And a typical example is the Ahiring community in the Bekwai municipality, where they are mining inches away from a main road, and even just behind the school, the only school in the community. When I reported, Naimos went in there, bent some few pumping machines, and said that they've taken control of the situation. No, the people are back. Just 3 days after, they are back. They are mining.
Wow. So now it's happening in Brekum, it's happening in Doma. It's happening
in the Ashanti region.
Konongo is still suffering from the...
Konongo is still suffering. The chiefs had to come in to now invoke curses, slaughter ram and pour libation, and say that whoever is a man should go over there and mine. It has not stopped. You take the I am free Wasa Krupong road, and you will weep for Ghana. This did not start yesterday. It started way back in 2023. I started reporting on it. Wasa Japa, Wasa Chinchina, Wasa Krupong. The town itself is a crime scene.
Yeah, this year when it rained, we saw what happened in Wasa Krupong. We saw what happened in Samra Boy. The flooding, because...
If you look at the town, Kojo, side by side on that road. In fact, when we were sent to do a recce, they told us in front of the camera, the people who were mining within the town, they told us boldly that what they are doing is illegal mining, but they will do it. And in fact, they are doing it.
Do these towns have DCs, MCs, police officers, chiefs?
That is the problem. See, if you monitor my Facebook page, and this is not personal, I've had a lot of threats and whatever in my mailbox. This is not personal. But when you have a police administration that doesn't see Galamsey as a crime, because in many of these instances, it's happening under the nose of the Ghana Police Service. And nobody is raising an eyebrow. What I reported from Wasafiase, Mpohofiase, yes, Mpohofiase.
Yeah, last week.
The Ayim police station. The Ayim police station, right in front of the Ayim police station, they are doing Galamsey. And
I was on my way to Axim, not to cut you. I was on my way to Axim. There was a police checkpoint, like a minute's drive from the police checkpoint, just by the road they were doing Galamsey.
and it is like seeing a band of robbers robbing somebody in broad daylight, and the police are doing their road checks nearby, and they are not perturbed. That is it. That is the exact situation. The Ayim police station is seated on a hill, and in front, directly opposite, on the other side of the road. So there is a road that divides them. They are doing illegal mining within the Butiri River. And there are 2 armed policemen who are seated in front of the police station watching them do it.
Wow.
No consequence, nothing.
Wow. So nothing really has changed.
Just a moment. I recently reported a similar thing. The police were armed. I think it's a highway robbery, anti-police something. They were fully armed, about 6 or 7 of them, conducting road checks. And just a few inches from them, an excavator is doing Galamsey behind the police school. And nothing is happening. How is this possible? How is that possible that a nature crime is now, like normal? The police administration sees nothing wrong with a nature crime that is happening right under their noses, something that is punishable by law. That is where we've reached. And so when farmers come to us in the newsroom and they continuously report to us, people have taken over our cocoa farms, people have taken over this, we have reported to the police, they are not minding us. That is the situation. And it's a sad prick on the conscience of those who died trying to do something about this situation.
Kweko, let me bring in Engineer Ken Ashigbe, and then I'll bring in Daryl Bosu. Engineer, good morning. Welcome to the Super Morning Show.
Thank you very much.
A year on, you say we've not seen any progress. Nothing has changed. I know the Ghana Chamber of Mines. You're a technical institution, and you've done a lot of models and thought through this. What change were you looking for? What must be done to see that change? And who should lead this, Engineer?
Well, again, I think when we start talking illegal mining, my 1 year stay at the chamber should not be what the hat I'm wearing.
Yes, true.
As your convener, somebody who's seen this fight since 2016 to 2017, and where we have gotten all the way up to this point. I remember I was sitting on I think it was a PM Express program when this incident happened. And I was there with the then UTAC president, and I was going all out and saying, this one with what had happened, the close net of somebody like Dr. Manibuama to His Excellency the President, another cabinet minister, Mutala, and all of that. Something definitely was going to happen. I had so much faith in the foreign minister when he came to say to us that they had a meeting and we're going to see some drastic actions. But we are where we are today. But the question you ask, and again, what's that fateful day? I was sitting at that meeting, that event when this death happened. The responsible cooperative mining and skills training. It is one of the important legs of fighting this illegality in terms of teaching the artisanal and small-scale miners, giving them a framework in which they are able to mine properly so that you can cut the criminals from those youth who want to mine well. And so it's a good initiative. And even from us at the chamber, we are also putting up a framework, to get that done. And for us, that's important. But you see, as Erastus catalogued the level of impunity that is happening, and the fact that now they've gone back to doing it in broad daylight. I remember in the NPP time, it was in the Western region, that it was at the district police commanders behind his house that there was Galamsey happening, and then we called it, so terrible. In this dispensation, for us to have Galamsey happening in front of a police station, and somebody will be sitting and waiting for the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, to send troops from Accra, Naimos, to be able to come. That is the epitome of the failure that we're talking about. How is it that the police sit there and they see crime happening, and we're doing nothing about it? How is it that we can all drive from Bonsu, through Enyim, through Osino, and see, this level of degradation happening, our water bodies being, killed, and nobody's doing anything about it? How is it that we have DCs, MCs, from Takwa all the way to Ayamfuri, with Wasai all the way to Dunko, to Obuasi, and we see all of that. And we're saying that for me, my worry is that this Galamsey is a national crisis, existential in nature, but the solutions are very local. So when you have BCs who are refusing to act, and currently as we speak, I'm sure you have seen the banter between the MP for the Oda area and the MC, where there's an MC that I've seen a video, I've even posted it on my Facebook, who says that there are some people mining, and the only illegality he sees is that they do not have a business operating permit from the assembly. He would not ask that the MC in his mining committee has EPA in there, would have minerals commission. He's not asking whether those people have permits and leases before he takes 15,000 from them. Be as he may that he pays it to government chest and allows the people to go back to their illegality. And then there's a chief who also then has issues with him going to pour libation. But the chiefs do not address the central question of the illegality that is happening. So it's for me, my heart is thinking that, we have a country, a great country like ours, and we are allowing something that we could do very responsibly and make sure that we're getting benefits out of it to destroy our very existence. And for me, the challenge is the fact that we seem to be allowing the illegality to be normalized. Because when you can have crime, can you imagine that there's somebody being raped in front of the police, or somebody is planning a coup in front of the police, or somebody is killing people in front of the police station, and they are not taking action against it? Because the Butre River that Erastus talks about, that is a water body that is being destroyed right in the presence of a police station. And then we'll get Gold Board, go and give money to Ghana Water to now go and try and repair it. What is that saying of us? So for me, I think that as a people, the invitation of His Excellency the President to all of us, we need to take it and say that where we are going, we all need to rally around and support to make sure that in as much as we provide a place for those who want to mine decently and responsibly to mine, we need to deal with this issue. And so all the DCs, the MCs, the police commanders who are deciding that they are not taking action, they are closing their eyes, they are actually facilitating it. Fortunately for us, the Minerals and Mining Act, as amended in 2019, if you facilitate it, you sin against that particular crime. And all of these people should be held accountable. How is it we're talking about water bodies? Erastus reported what is happening in Bosomtwe. There is a child's entry that has been mentioned by the minister for the regional minister. How is it that at this stage we've not heard that he's been invited in for any investigation? When Naimos went into the place around the Bekwai area where they are mining much land, by the road, if they went to go and destroy, how come there was a gentleman who spoke to Rastos as well? How come that person has not been arrested? Because I spoke to the lady who was then, I think she's been changed, who then was managing the outcomes. He said they had not issued any permit to anybody to go and mine in a waterway. So that person, the activity that is being taken there. So for me, the big thing is that, again, it's just playing out that the leadership, that we need to be able to deal with this. We're not seeing it, especially at the local level. That's why I will plead with His Excellency the President. He had mentioned that Galamsey was going to be a KPI for the MCs. So how come that none of these MCs where Galamsey is happening right close to them. And nobody has been held accountable. That, for me, is the slippery slope that we are on. And all of us, we need to wake up and see that we have to find a way of supporting to be able to get our country, so that these people who have lost their lives in the act, in carrying out a national duty, at least their lives would mean something. Otherwise, we would have failed all of these people.
Yeah. Engineer, thank you. Let me bring in Daryl Bosu. Daryl is the Deputy Director of Arocha, Ghana. Now, Daryl, let's talk some science and let's see if the environment is recovering. In September 2024, we took samples from the River Pra at Chifopraso, and we took it to Water Resources for analysis. The turbidity that we got was 5152. That was the turbidity of the River Pra at Chifopraso, where the bridge is. Yeah. We know that samples have been taken of the various water bodies before. Are we seeing a recovery of the environment? In fact, if you think about what the EPA tried to do with the nanoparticle something science in February, beyond the talk, have we followed up and really fixed the environment? Are you seeing any improvements in the environment?
Good morning, Kojo, and also good morning to Engineer Ken and also to Erastus. I must say that, yes, today is definitely a sad day, and I like the way we are reflecting on how far we've come. I represented the Coalition Against Galamsey on that day at Obuasi, whilst we were waiting for these 8 people to join us for the commissioning of the responsible cooperative mining. And so it's really sad to see that despite we, like Ghanaians, compassionately mourning, pouring in tributes and all of that, we have not taken action to honor their name indeed. What we have rather done is rather play around a lot of propaganda, a lot of optics, without really showing true commitment. And if you listen to the narratives from Erastus, and we also been on the ground, just looking at all the things that is happening. Recently, we were in Dunkwa on a thing, and just at the bridge, whilst you drive into the town, there was a champagne operating you could hear it as you drive over the bridge. And you actually, not far from there, you have the police. So, and if you also travel, you go to the Pra, you see the Tano, you see all of these other rivers, the Birim now, because of the pollution at Birim, Chebi has not had water from the beginning of the year. And if you really hear communities, they talk about no access to water, potable drinking water. Ghana Water Company is rationing water now, and not only in Accra, but even in also other parts of the country where they are serving water to citizens. There is really a clear indication that our actions since then has not reflected in any positive outcome for the environment. We have seen more and more of our rivers still staying polluted. If you look at how polluted Cobra is moving into the sea, if you look at places like the Birim River, if you look at the Ofin now as it is, if you look at the tunnel, Kojo, it's a very devastating issue. We also did some research on the levels of pollution of our water bodies, and it was very clear that, look, it is not getting better. It hasn't gotten better. And if you look at the incidence of communities coming in more and more complaining about the lack of potable water to drink, that tells you that there's a lot of work going on. There's a lot of military deployment. There's a lot of actions here and there, but that is not really giving us the solution that is needed. And I think it's not only our rivers, we've also seen our forest reserves. Erastus has talked about Bosomche Forest Reserve, with people sitting in there. If you go to the Atiba rainforest in the eastern region, Kojo, you'll be devastated by how miners have made that place their home. They sit in portions of it and are mining with impunity. And like has been said, you don't see any corresponding action from the police in particular, and you see activities happening right by the roadside, 5 meter, 10 meter by the roadside, and these guys are driving through sometimes with their barriers and nothing is happening. So, Kojo, I don't think that, and from what we have seen on the ground, there's been any improvement in the environment. I think that what we are seeing is that these miners are expanding their territories. They are gaining more grounds. They are entering areas that had not seen mining, and they are using that to really devastate and destroy the land more and more.
So
we really have a long way to go.
Daryl and Engineer Ashigbe and Erastus, if I'm allowed to make an inference from your submissions this morning, can I safely conclude that we have failed? And then I'm going to remove us from the equation, because I'm not the one you voted for to run the country, and I'm not the one with all the authority. The government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has failed so far, and they are failing in the Galamsey fight. Can I conclude that? And if I can draw that conclusion, if you had 30 seconds with the president on the assumption that whatever you tell him he will do, what will you tell him to do to win the fight? I'll start with you, Erastus. I'll come to Engineer, and I'll take Daryl. 30 seconds each. You are sitting with John Mahama in his office, and he says, tell me something I must do, and I'll do it to win the Galamsey fight. What one thing do you think John Dramani Mahama should do? Erastus.
If you are trying to assess whether the government has failed or not, the IMF is warning Galamsey is threatening Ghana's economy, and is confirming what we've been talking about all this while. The president should hold his appointees accountable.
The president should hold his appointees accountable. So if you're DCA and Galamsey is happening
MMDCs
on your watch,
at the local level, the police, sadly, the Ghana Police Service has withdrawn from the Galamsey fight.
So these people should be
evident.
So can I say that if he should hold them accountable, then he should sack them and actually have them prosecuted for dereliction of duty?
Of course, serve a very strong warning out there to people that they must sit up.
Thank you,
and
Erastus.
Do the right thing.
Thank you, Erastus. Thank you, and thank you for your service to Ghana. Let me come to you, Engineer Ken Ashigbe.
Well, I think I could not agree much with Erastus. As I say all the time, the firefighters are the afternoon. So what I would say to His Excellency the President is that some of the things he had said himself in October 2024, the fact that the issues around Galamsey is the things that we need to deal with. So for me, I would also agree that he should hold his leadership, especially the local leaders, accountable. And we should apply the hot stove principle. It does not matter whose ass is God, so he should crack the whip. Anybody who is in those communities where Galamsey is happening, from the DC, the MC, to the police commanders, the BNI commanders, there are two things either happening. Either they are incompetent and they cannot do the work he has assigned them to do, or they are complicit, or both. And so in both ways, he needs to hold people accountable. And I think that in as much as we now said NIMOS should do coordination, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources is doing all he can do, but he cannot be everywhere. So we need to make sure that the police within the communities, they are the law enforcement agencies. They should ensure that they do their work. And we had also asked His Excellency the President about publishing water quality reports, and also in terms of how the devastation is happening. And he had made promises to us that it was going to happen. I will plead with him that we should get that report happening so that we then can carry all of us together. But as I say that to His Excellency the President, I would also say to all of us in Ghana, including us, the Media Coalition, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, including the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Christian Council, the Office of the Chief Imam, Labour, and all of that, that we need to take up the invitation that His Excellency has given to us, and we need to bring pressure to bear so that together we can help solve this problem. The impunity, the way it is going. Let me read a quotation from a report that has been done by GCRF.
You have 30 seconds.
It's a national security issue, systemic, and no longer a marginal livelihood problem. It is eating all of us up. There are, that Ghana, we are surrounded by a lot of the challenges in the Sahel, and a lot of these combatants are in our country. They use here as a resting and recuperation place, but they are also using it as gathering resources. And so this place is becoming fertile for them. And if you are not careful, our very democracy, the fact that we have been a peaceful country, there's been no terrorism in here, it would become at risk. So it is important that we are able to deal with this thing very, very fairly, but also provide a way for those who want to be able to mine properly to also mine.
Thank you, Engineer. Dario.
Yes, Kojo, I think that we started well, but if you ask me, I will say now we're at the point of hopelessness because every system we put in place is failing to yield the needed results and outcomes. And what should we do? I think we need to start prioritizing key economic sectors and secure them against the menace of Galamsey. We need to secure our forest reserves against Galamsey. We need to secure our river systems against Galamsey, and our approach should be very uncompromising. It is not enough to jail Wontumi, whilst many others are left to go about to continue the impunity. I think that if there's anything this government can do, then these key economic sectors need to be protected, and government must start that now.
Thank you, Dario Bosu. Thank you, Erastus Saridonko. Thank you, Engineer Kenashigbe, for joining us this morning. Now, in 1986, the year I was born, a Trinidadian musician released a song titled The Sinking Ship. And it starts like, this is an SOS from the Trinidad. Location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday, help, help. The Trinidad, a luxury liner calling the Caribbean Sea, sailing the Caribbean Sea with an old captain named Eric Williams. For years, sailed smooth and free. But sadly, the ship hit rough water. Someone turned the bridge over, and the ship is sinking. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, these seas are rough. Our gas tank is almost empty. No electricity. Our oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, can you tell me what to do? The Trinidad, the ship, is Ghana. And we are sailing the seas of protecting our environment, our water bodies for ourselves and the future. But like the three gentlemen I spoke to right now said, Daryl says we are in a state of hopelessness. Erastus says we have lost the fight. Ken agrees. Captain, the ship is sinking. Should we abandon ship? Or you are going to take hold of the rudder? That's going to take hold of everything and ensure we stay afloat.
A luxury liner sailing the Caribbean Sea with an old captain named Eric Williams. Oh yes, it's smooth and free. But sadly, Eric Williams passed away. The ship hit rough water that day. Someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I sail a ball. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa.
Indeed, if we were in some other jurisdiction, he would have resigned by now. By his word, he put his presidency on the line. Because now his own people have been found to be the ones engaged. All their party executives have, concessions and are doing illegal mining in forest reserves. It's a pity. But
it's a pity. Should we abandon ship? We don't know. We don't know. When the president was in opposition, he actually said that then President Nana Akufo-Addo should resign because Nana Akufo-Addo said he had put his presidency on the line. Unfortunately, he also failed in fixing Galamsey. Then John Dramani Mahama, the candidate, said, vote for me, I'll fix it. And actually asked Akufo-Addo to consider resigning because his own people were doing the Galamsey. Now Mahama becomes president, and he said before that we know the people doing the Galamsey. Speaker of Parliament has also said it before. Sami Meboa, he also said we know you, the people doing the Galamsey. My own king, Otunfor 82 II, he's also said we know the people doing the Galamsey. So how come a year after we lost 8 Ghanaians to this fight, the watchers of the industry are saying we are failed? And how have we not seen a better fight, better prioritizing of the Galamsey fight, and better results? And where are we going to go when we mess up the country? Where are we going to run to? This is also let me tell you something. You don't need to run to China if you are doing business with China. You don't need to even speak Mandarin or understand any of the Chinese languages to make payments. The China trade trip is here. CBG has put together a nice trade trip to China. From the it's taking you to the 3rd international trade trip to China. It's an exclusive trip designed just for you to Guangzhou and Yiwu from the 4th to the 20th of October 2026. You get the opportunity to explore the Chinese market, network with suppliers, and discover innovative products that can elevate your business. Enjoy easy access to various sectors with professional translators at your service to bridge any communication gaps. CBG do all. Numerous benefits await you, including insightful business seminars, orientation to the Chinese market, factory and market visits, and a whole lot more. So if you want to do business, don't miss out on this chance to expand your business. You call Rosemary on 0243-803-596, Esther on 0243-043-708, Solomon on 055-679-9127, and Lethal on 053-101-9150. Together, let's make your business dreams a reality. Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, we stand with you. And Dancey Travels 13th anniversary is happening. Giddy. They've created unforgettable memories and journeys for 13 years for thousands of travelers around the world. This August is your turn. Experience the excitement of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Malaysia, Bali, Singapore, Thailand, Nairobi, and Zanzibar with the exciting 13th anniversary tour packages. Book today by calling 059-550-0817 or 053-100-8550 or visit adansetravels.com. Adanse Travels at 13. Feel the joy. You know, these days some mattresses are being made from all kinds of unsafe materials that are not fit for sleeping surfaces. Get latex foam, your partner for life. Tried and tested for almost 60 years. Don't fall for the trap of buying cheap inferior mattresses. So you do yourself if you do that. You'll be putting your body through stress and messing up your sleep. Just talk to Latex Foam in Accra on 0302-231-155, in Kumasi on 032-202-9365. For all your inquiries, you can go to latexfoamghana.com for more details. Latex Foam is your partner for life.
Going green is not just about saving the planet, it can save you real money. Install solar panels and cut down your power costs to get an electric vehicle and reduce what you spend getting around. Switch to energy efficient equipment and lower the cost of running your home or business. And the best part, Absa Bank can help you finance all of it. The Absa Green Finance Loan gives you what you need to make it happen. Walk into any Absa Bank branch, ask about the Absa Green Finance Loan today and say yes to a greener tomorrow. Terms and conditions apply.
Kwaku, me say economical Absa.
Hey,
Rabu di na me green semi wa brochire.
Hey, some office now
middle blue.
What?
And the rooftop is covered with solar.
Solar. Just say Absa Green.
Green no, Charlie, you see. The see of yes, your friend is saying the your baby bamen kai.
Oh. Because
BB Obema or Obema.
Oh yes, yeah.
They walk to Obema. Because if Absa says come and do solar, because they will finance it, because they've done it and they know it.
Yes, sustainability.
Giddy. Absa mo a champion. And you know the Absa Auto Fair is coming up. Yes, it's coming up. Giddy from Saturday 22nd of August to Sunday 23rd of August at the Good Park, Accra Mall. It's at 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and it's the biggest auto event of the year. APSA is partnering Hollard and other partners to bring this to you. So bring a friend, bring the family, and come and explore vehicles, enjoy test drives, insurance, and affordable finance options from APSA Bank while you pimp your rides with new accessories. So if you're looking to showcase your business, you can book an exhibition space by sending a WhatsApp to 054 136 1237. The APSA Auto Fair is in partnership with Hollard Insurance and City FM.
Talking about things that are coming up, the Guinness Pound of Flesh LPM. The reviews are in.
What's a Guinness?
Guinness Pound of Flesh. I'll be there this weekend. Oh, will you be there?
I went last weekend. This weekend too, I'm going again.
Yes,
because Charlie, the production by George Kui,
quality and
Pro Communications, they give me hope.
The reviews are in and they are simply mind-blowing. Audiences have laughed, gasped, applauded, and left the National Theatre calling it one of the finest Ghanaian stage productions in recent years. If you missed the opening weekend of Guinness Pound of Flesh, you've got one final opportunity to experience the play everyone is talking about. The first original Africa adaptation of William Shakespeare's legendary classic, The Merchant of Venice, written and directed by George Kui. This brilliant production blends humor, suspense, courtroom drama, and powerful social commentary into an unforgettable theatrical experience. Don't miss the final two performances this weekend, Saturday 8th and Sunday 9th August, with shows at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the National Theatre. Tickets are only 200 cedis and available at imagebureau.com or by dialing *714*46#. For inquiries, please call 055-131-3134. Supported by NE Plans Car Rentals, Graphic Communications Group, Joy FM, Hits FM, Joy Prime, and proudly brought to you by the Ghana Tourism Authority. Guinness Pound of Flesh. Don't miss out.
And you know, this morning I started the show with Yolanda Adams, Believe. I gotta believe. You need to believe that God has prepared something for you.
Yeah.
And what God has prepared for this moment cannot be put into words. If you were unable to go for any of the Greater Works sessions earlier this week, you have the opportunity to do so this morning and this evening. Greater Works 2026 is a heavenly invasion of God's glory and power. And speaking, Pastor Matthew Ashimolo, Pastor Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Michael Konko, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and the conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. The date is Monday 3rd of August to Friday 7th of August 2026. Venue is ICGC Christ Temple. Morning sessions are from 9 a.m. and the evening sessions start at 5 p.m. each night. And the special song ministration, Joe Metal, One Small Six, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsin Oyikan, and the ICGC mass choirs are performing. Buses will be available at strategic locations across the city. And if you want more details, visit gwcentral.org.
Well, you need fuel. Make that smart stop at Star Oil, Ghana's largest oil marketing company with over 240 stations nationwide. Star Oil gives you high quality fuel, great service, and real value for money. That is why many Ghanaians are switching to Star Oil, and with a Star card, you can enjoy safe cashless fueling and easy expense tracking. Wherever you go, choose Star Oil for your quality and affordable fuels. My light is coming on, so I have to pass by the nearest branch of Star Oil and fill up.
Your light, if you say your light is coming on.
You know the light that comes on with the fuel. When the fuel is going down, then I saw yellow.
Yes.
Oh, dashboard. So
Charlie,
it's time to go
and fill up. Let me say good morning to Professor Kojo PJ Etua. Prof will have his inaugural lecture at the Great Hall on Thursday, 27th August 2026, the University of Ghana Great Hall. The topic is Students' Struggle for Academic Freedom and Africa's Democratic Renewal. The chairperson is Professor Nana Abba Apia for the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana. We also had a plastics conversation coming up today because of the national event for the 8 people who died last year. We have rescheduled to next week. So that event on Joy News, on Joy FM, and on our socials is not coming off today. We've rescheduled it to next week. We'll go for a breather. When we come back, we'll talk about people in uniforms, people behind decks that we've bought for them with our taxes, people who have to serve us, rather using the office, the authority, and the opportunity and the jobs we've given them to extort money from us here on the show. Plus, other interesting conversations. Stay with us.
Parents, you've worked hard to give your child the very best future. With a 90% graduate employment rate in the first 6 months of graduation, that future can be right here at Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British branch campus in sub-Saharan Africa. The same globally recognized UK degree, accredited to the highest international standards, all within a modern learning environment. Applications are now open. Visit lancaster.edu.gh to apply today. Lancaster University, Ghana, a global degree at your doorstep.
What God has prepared for this moment cannot be put into words. Greater Works 2026. Speaking, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonko, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and our conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. Date, Monday the 3rd of August to Friday the 7th of August 2026. Morning sessions, Tuesday to Friday. Time, 9 a.m. Evening sessions, Monday to Friday. Time, 5 p.m. each night. Venue, ICGC Christ Temple East. Special song ministrations by Joe Metal, Once More 6, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsin Oyekan, and ICGC Mass Choirs and Dramatic Arts. Buses will be available at strategic locations across the city. For more details, visit gwcentral.org. Greater Works 2026. It's coming down.
One phone call can open a new opportunity. One picture can preserve a moment forever. And one smart choice can change the way you connect, create, and experience the world. This season, CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week takes center stage as the biggest mobile phone festival, where top brands meet the best prices. From Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, and Itel to Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji. Discover the mobile brands you love at exciting prices. Enjoy great discounts and amazing gifts from the 27th of July to the 9th of August. More brands, more possibilities, more reasons to choose CompuGhana. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call 0302-752020 or WhatsApp 0243-143-143. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Remember that feeling, the excitement when your visa gets approved, the moment you start packing your bags for that well-deserved vacation, the anticipation as you board your flight, the smile when you arrive in a destination you have always dreamed of. For 13 years, Adansi Travels has created unforgettable moments around the world. And this August, we invite you to do one thing. Feel the joy! From Singapore to Malaysia, from Philippines to Thailand, from Dubai to Bali, no matter where you go, your experience should feel like joy! Book your travel package today and let's create memories together. Call Adansi Travels now on 059-550-0817. Adansi Travels at 13. Feel the joy!
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Shit, come me get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills,
There's no need for silence. From our emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
It's 9:25. You're still listening to the Super Morning Show, and today is Thursday, the 6th of August 2026. Something big is happening. We've been talking about it on the show, the Global Conference on Human Resources in Africa. The time is almost up, and this morning I have the co-founder and executive director of strategy, GACL, Rita Kusi, with us, and Vera Sabla is the head of human resources, outsourcing and administration at Joberman. They are here to tell us why we need to be at the conference. Good morning, ladies. How are we?
We're good. Good morning.
Yes. I've been reading the LPM and talking about the event, and it's good to have you here to tell us more about the event. Excellent. What's the theme for this year's conference?
So the theme for this year's conference is leading the transformation, HR as a catalyst really for just global development, workplace development, national development. And the reason being that, HR sits in a very strategic position within the organization. Yeah. We've gone from an administrative role, to now supporting the business, being an actual partner to the business. And so we thought, and during the pandemic, HR stepped into that leadership role when they had to navigate through those workplace challenges during that unprecedented time. And so we want to elevate the conversation and really put HR in that position of leadership, and that's what inspired that.
Is this event for only CEOs and HRs or other senior managers who want to understand how people must work, managing people, building capacity, can all attend this event?
And the key word you just mentioned is people. If you work with people, if you deal with people, if you manage people, you need to be in the room. The first two conferences that we had, this is the third year, the first two conferences we had, we focused more on HR, bringing top-level HR professionals, key decision makers into that space so that we can have the hard conversations. This year, we are broadening the conversation to include government officials, academia, CEOs, business executives, entrepreneurs, technology enthusiasts, and of course, HR. So it's open to everyone who is leveraging technology, but also dealing with people, managing people.
Vera, you work at Joberman.
Yes.
And I've followed what you do at Joberman. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
Lots of projects, MasterCard Foundation, this, that. So you are working in different industries.
Yes.
What are the biggest shifts you are seeing in the world of work, and how are they changing what employers look for in the talents they are trying to attract?
Right. Thank you, Kojo. So I'm glad you've been following Joberman a lot. That's great. So in Joberman, or where we find ourselves, we've realized that, everybody can draft a CV now, especially with AI. Super CV will be given to you. But then we are going beyond that, and as employers, we are looking at capability. Who is giving us that value? Who is adding that value to the organization? And we see that play out a lot in Joberman Ghana, where you would see that employers are looking way beyond that, looking at the soft skills. Soft skills, for instance, punctuality, which people don't pay attention to. Kojo, let me use you as an example. Where you find yourself, time is very sensitive for you.
Yeah.
Imagine you come in with all the degrees, all the academic qualifications, but then Kojo is supposed to be on set at 9:20, but he is not there. It means that your CV has brought you in there, but your timing will not have Joy FM keep you in here. So this is where we are heading towards. It's not really about I have a super CV, all the degrees whatsoever, but it's about the soft skills here. And soft skills, I've mentioned one of it. And this is where we are heading towards. I mean, the World Economic Forum did a report, and we are looking at about, in the next 5 years, about 44% of core worker skills is going to be changing. And it has actually started changing. So we need to just run with that speed, and we need to have people concentrating also on the soft skills part of it.
Great. And
100%.
You wanted to
Yeah, I do. And so for us, why this conference is important right now more than ever is because Africa, this is where the future workforce sits.
Yeah.
We're becoming a global hub for talent. This is where global businesses are literally coming for the talent, right? But we need to be competitive. We need to be able to compete. You have now call centers are based in Indonesia, and some of these, like the Philippines, I would say. But Africa has the talent. We are positioned for global opportunities. But like Vera said, it's about capability. Do we have staff? Do we have, the talent that's capable to perform on a global level? And that's really what GCHRA is
I like
about.
the fact that you're talking about Africa having the staff, the talent. Yesterday, I used population.io to check my position in Ghana's demographic system, right? And I'm not 40 yet. I'll be 40 later this year. But I'm older than 27 million Ghanaians. Our population is 34 million.
Yep.
So basically says that Ghana's population is a very youthful population.
100%.
But unemployment is also a problem. Here you are talking about the opportunity, the fact that we have talent. How do we build the capacity of this human resource base to fit the needs of employers to drive the growth we seek?
We were actually just talking about that.
Yeah,
in the hallway, right?
Yes, I think we should start from the basics. The curriculum in schools, it's really about the classroom, some courses, but then when you come into the real world, it's a very different thing altogether. So I'll go back to the basics, where let's merge that the soft skills part I earlier on talked about, in addition to the technical part of it, to help prepare these young ones for the job market. It is nice I really don't want to mention the university here on your here, but then there's one of the universities in this country that has invested in, after, especially when the students get into the fourth year, they would have people like us, Jobaman Ghana, because we have developed a curriculum on soft skills, come in there and train these people to make them work ready. The catchword here is work readiness.
Mention the name, then parents will know what it is.
that is advertisement for them. I don't really want to go there.
That's a nice spin on it,
so,
right?
That is where I think we can head towards. And hopefully, if other universities would also adapt to this, I think in the long run it will help out. You see that even with organizations like us, we went the extra mile to build that curriculum because we realized that clearly there's that gap there. So why don't we help these people? We have people coming in for internship programs. You won't come to Jobaman and, typically you're being sent on errands. No, you are immersed in the job. We help you prepare for the world of work.
So Rita, there's a problem, there's opportunity. That's why you are convening this very important global
100%.
conference on human resources Africa. When is it happening? Where is it happening? The CEOs are listening, the HR professionals are listening, the future CEOs are also listening.
Yes.
Why should they come? You've already given us reasons why we should come. But when does it happen? Where is it happening? And when we come, what will we get on the grounds? What are some of the specific activities that are going to be done?
And thank you for that question. So for us, we are inviting, as I mentioned earlier, everyone that sits in that space where they are dealing with people, humans, right? In Africa, we're very human-centric. And so you really need to be in the room to hear the conversation, how technology is transforming the HR space, but then also the world of work. So we are having these conversations. We have keynote sessions happening. We have panel discussions, fishbowl conversations. We have a day that's just dedicated to 6 high-level master classes where you have someone come in to actually lead a master class on using Claude. Claude is like the new player on the AI scene, right? So for us, this is a future-forward HR conference. You're not just coming and you sit. Vera was just talking about theory versus, the practicality aspect. You're not coming to sit and we're just talk. There's actually high-level engagement. There's networking. Yes, the content is exceptional, but also coming and meeting the right people, I think, is what also gets you employment and gets you in these spaces that you need to be in. And so we have the master classes happening. Day 4, which I love, we actually take the delegates that are traveling from outside. So previous GCHRA conferences, we've had over 15 nations represented. That's huge. And a majority is actually representing Africa, a huge Pan-African community. And this year, we are positioned to see more. So day 4, we take them on tours. This year, we're going to Akosombo, Cape Coast, Castle. I mean, we want people to come and really experience what GC. It's an experience. It's more than a conference. And so, of course, we have Joy as a major partner, supporter. This is your 3rd year that you've actually supported. That's a big deal. We have Jobberman. We have LinkedIn. That's come. This is MTN, LinkedIn's first time. MTN, PwC, CIFA. I mean, it's huge, and we have SHRM. SHRM is the largest HR organization globally with over 360,000 members, worldwide. And so you need to be in the room, and you can visit GCHRAfrica.com for more information. GCHRAfrica.com.
GCHRAfrica.com.
Or you can call us 055-408-1727. 055-408-1727. We are just 6 days away, and honestly, you need to be in the room. The reviews about our conference has been exceptional. That Friday, next week Friday, we're actually calling it Culture Day, where you can come, you can represent, you can wear your, just come and represent your nationality, your culture, your tradition, and
I'll be there.
Be in the room. I hope to see you.
And I'll sit in the Claude session. I love Claude, and I'll sit in that. I will not miss that. Rita, co-founder, executive director of strategy, GCHRA. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you guys. We're onto something great. Next week is going to be great. I pray for that into your lives and the event.
Amen. Thank you.
Oh, Vera. Head of Human Resources, Outsourcing and Administration, Jobberman. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll go for a quick break. This is the Super Morning Show. Stay with us.
Thank you.
This August, the Super Morning Show is done pretending. Sustainability isn't just tree planting, it's whether the systems we depend on actually last. Lights that stay on, water that reaches the bucket, food that nourishes people instead of rotting away, roads that take us home instead of taking our lives. When things keep failing, that's a sustainability crisis. So this month, we're asking why. Why land guards still run our neighborhoods? Why food rots in bins while our neighbors sleep hungry? Why the road that killed your cousin still has no signage? Why half the water you pay for never reaches your bucket? Uncomfortable? Good. That's the point. Stay tuned to the Super Morning Show throughout August for Joy Sustainability Month. Sponsored by MTN. # Joy Sustains.
Follow not sa malaria. A treating till no not now. Ogonto malaria chill. Popo. What will it do? I want the num not. A dabako. Num not. A damien no. Num not. A damien sa. Num not. No. No not. Scatter malaria. Lonat, it dey scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa wumojam ansana wanum Lona. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo ho a kohu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
Keep out of reach of children and report all side effects of this medicine to your healthcare provider or to the FDA using the Med Safety app.
The play was amazing. I loved it.
Oh my God, the play was nice. I laughed the whole time through.
We did.
I love the set. It had that wow factor when it first came down.
Absolutely.
It was so funny. It was amazing. I laughed a lot. You can see tears dropping from my eyes. There was a lot of drama. A lot. Diva level drama. I really enjoyed it. I would like to come and watch it tomorrow again.
I think everyone should see it.
Gallina's Pound of Flesh.
Live at the National Theatre.
Saturday 8th and Sunday 9th August at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day.
Grab a ticket now to the most hilarious theatrical masterpiece of the year for only 200 Ghana cedis at imagebureaugh.com
or dial star 714*46#.
Written and directed by George Quinn.
Edited by Niplanskar.
For illegal mining since 2020 to 2025, with the majority of them being Ghanaians and the remaining foreigners.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs talks about the fact that, they've had a cabinet meeting and we're waiting for some forceful, push that was going to come from His Excellency the President. We would have hoped that by this time, when you drive from Bonsu through Enyinem to Osino, you will not see the audacity of the criminals who are mining right by the side of the road. Unfortunately, in as much as the president has, the angst to be able to fight this, in as much as the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources is pushing from where he is, we are losing the battle. We are losing the battle of illegal mining, and we have not, as a country, we have not honored, these 8 people who have paid the ultimate price in their quest of serving their country. We have not honored their memories.
We have people.
The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
It's 9:41. This is still the Super Morning Show. So far this morning, we've touched on some of the issues. We've touched on Galamsey. We've touched on the bribery issue. We also told you that we'll be following up on the NPP demonstration, and our colleague Fatau Bayaga is on the line to bring us updates. We know the demonstration has started. Fatau, where are you this morning? Okay, we've lost Fatau. We'll bring him back on the line to tell us where he is, what is happening, and updates on the NPP demonstration. We also have a lot of your messages and your posts on bribery, extortion here on the show. We'll share those as well with you on the show. Kweku?
Yes.
Have they tried to extort money from you before?
Oh, plenty times, especially with my people in the blue and black. As for them, they catch you in the morning.
And do you pay or you don't pay?
I don't pay.
You don't pay?
One of them saw me at the train and was like, you work at Joy FM, people sit on the radio and say this and that and this and that, and I was trying to explain to them, So these days I'm trying to get a dashboard camera, because the last time the police had any issue with me was over a year ago. They said I had jammed the traffic light. I hadn't. I was so sure that I had not jammed the traffic light. But they still insisted. They say, let's go to the police station. And I know you are busy, you are going somewhere, you don't want to go and spend all the time there. And so that is where they can lock you in and make some requests and all of that. So now I'm trying to get... we went to them, went to the Legon MTCD. In fact, I was going for a meeting at CDD. I had to leave the car there and go for the meeting and come back. I came back and they said they will show me the video. There's a video, there's CCTV, they will show it to me. Eventually they didn't show it. They said something for lunch. I said, okay, as for lunch, I can give lunch.
So they got it.
They got lunch and they gave me my key back.
It wasn't lunch. You paid that thing anyway. Fatau Bayaga is on the line. Fatau, good morning. Where are you this morning?
Good morning, Kojo.
Where are you this morning? Can you give us an update on the demonstration? Where are you?
At the moment, we are in front of the Supreme Court, where the MPP supporters and the leadership are expected to present a petition to the Judicial Service. So at the moment, many of the NPP supporters are here, and the leadership of the party as well. I've seen the General Secretary of the party, Justin Kojo. I've just seen the minority leader, Alexander Penyamarket, former majority leader, also Chairman Sabutu. All of them are here, and they are currently walking slowly into the Supreme Court, where they will be presenting a petition to the Judicial Service. So basically, now that's what is happening here at the frontage of the Supreme Court.
So if they are already at the Supreme Court, can I infer that they are done with the work and they are the final point to present their petition?
So, Kojo, they started from the community center. It's a part just opposite the Supreme Court. That's where they started from. The party addressed the gathering, telling them to be very circumspect today as they join hundreds of other people to protest today. And they moved from there and then headed to the entrance of the Supreme Court. So as I speak with you, they are close to the entrance of the Supreme Court, and they are expected to then present their petition to the Judicial Service.
From the Supreme Court, where next will they go?
But just from here, they would head to the Jubilee House, where they are expected to present another petition to the seat of government.
When these demonstrations happen, we get stories of security services abusing the demonstrators. We get stories of some demonstrators.
You have to come again. I'm struggling to hear you.
I'm just saying, sometimes when demonstrations happen, there are stories of security services abusing demonstrators. Some demonstrators going over the top. Have you seen any incidents so far?
So far, I've not witnessed anything like that. But as I speak with you, the security officers here are in their hundreds, and in fact, the assurance that they've given us is that they would ensure that they protect the demonstrators as they protest peacefully. But in fact, what they're saying is that the protesters will also be, in a way, circumspect in how they participate in this protest in order that they don't cause anything untoward. So basically, that is what the police officials are telling us. But then, for the leadership of the party itself, they're saying that their supporters should not do anything untoward that could probably cause anything that would dent the beauty of this protest today.
Fatau, thank you for this update from the NPP demonstration. It's 9:47. I'm looking at the Google traffic, Google Maps, and looking at the traffic indication. It's all red on the road. That's the road around Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, the road around the Supreme Court. It's all red. So if you have any business to do in that area, plan your day accordingly so you don't fall into this particular traffic. But there's something I need to tell you. You know, emergencies don't give signal.
Not at all.
So when life happens, remember that Momo Day. So borrow what you can handle from your Momo app. Pay back on time. No pressure. Because when you pay back, the cycle continues and you get to do more with Momo. Responsible borrowing be the real flex. Irresponsible borrowing, there, they like. Momo Day. Do more with Momo.
Well, talking more about all these fantastic deals, the Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's back to school promotion is here with us once again. From August 1 to September 30 this year, that is also the period for the legal vacation, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is offering a generous 15% discount on all school items, including pens, erasers, pencils, exercise books, and more, across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrady, Winneba, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302-764-101 or 0302-764-209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website, kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are assured.
We have a lot of your messages and posts on the bribery and the corruption and the extortion issue. When we come back, we'll read those messages.
Morning time, the pot is ready. Mama cook it nice and steady. Call your people, call your crew. Oba spaghetti made for you. Come chop, come chop. Everybody
who saw the need to change the status quo, to provide an alternative. They believed in the cooperative idea. If we have to honor their memory, I say, let's do it right.
But perhaps the greatest tribute to these 8 gallant souls will not be found in the wreaths, monuments, or anniversary ceremonies. It will be found in the rivers that run clear again, in forests that breathe once more, and in a nation that finally finds the resolve to protect the land that sustains us all. Their mission ended in the skies above Adansiasukwa, but the journey they began remains firm on the ground, unfinished and now entrusted to every Ghanaian, until the scars of Galamsey fade from our rivers and our forests. August 6th will remain more than a day of mourning. It will stand as a solemn reminder that the price of inaction can be painfully high. Rest in power, our fallen heroes. Demri Fatue and Mary Mama. For Joy News, I am Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
The international
Raps off for me who am a canteen and a ball pie muka. So boa. Over boa, go go. Over boa, and you make you all.
No, come back
to your lunch.
This one they said that they've kept my license for me for a long time.
Yes.
If the license could have gotten lost.
Yes.
And they kept it for me.
Now you don't
so
need
once
to
I'm back.
Going forward, you don't need to give your license to a police officer.
Yes,
you give them your license code and they will just check.
You saw the video of the man in the car driving with the police officer.
Wow, this message says the land minister crosses the Ankobra River anytime he goes to his constituency. The water continues to be brown and heavily silted, and yet we don't see any improvement in that. Does he not see it? That's a message from a listener. This message says the police are wrong. It's normal. I think we should get a police toll booth. So when commercial drivers get there, they pay their toll. We are tired. This one says, Kofoidia DVLA. I did my driving license renewal. A guy who met me and wanted to help me asked that I pay 50 Ghana cedis to another guy in their pay room. He then said after everything I should come and take him to lunch. I paid for premium. I think within a month. The receipt did not reflect the premium, but normal. And it took a longer time for it to be ready. When I went to collect my card, a lady who searched and gave me my card gave me a pouch. That's the card you put. You gave me a pouch to put my NHIS and other cards in. Wrote my phone number on paper in one of the holders and charged me 30 cedis. By force, you buy it. I say old school now. On to for uncle break, you know. This one says Ghana Health Service. My own colleague HR demanded money to process my documents and it didn't even go through. Controller and accountant general demands money before they put your salary scale at automatic so that you get your salary point moved from 1 to 5 every year. Charlie, bro. And this message says there are people working in areas that they deal with the less privileged, and in many instances they use their own money to support them. Those people are also there. Some are educators, some are healthcare workers, and may God continue to bless such people. Okay, thank you for the message. This message reads, Irabana in Cantonment. She says, twice last week, I was stopped by police officers who, on approaching my car, said, "Oh, madam, as for this, your car, dear, when we stop you, it's not anything. You just have to find something nice for us. You know, the weekend is coming." I couldn't believe it. I was on my way to a meeting and was obligated to stop because the person stopping me was a police officer. Some of them are beggars in uniform. That's what I call them. That's the only difference between them and the beggars who were repatriated last year. And this is Irabna in Cantonment. Kwame J says, good morning. I remember Dr. Tony Edu said that the nation should deploy one unit of the army to fight this Galamsey madness, and we failed to listen to his advice. Josh, again, forget about the agencies, Kojo. Trust me. If you go to the car wash, those boys will extort money from you, and it's painful. This message says the beautiful green belt in East Legon could have been used for a park, but it's been turned into a concrete jungle of shops. Why? Some of the messages.
Well, a couple of messages coming in on our Facebook handle on the airport and what is going on there. This one says, oh, they are not the only people who, but I don't see it to be that very good because some of them continue to ask for money. This one says, One lady said to me, your sister needs money for cocoa this morning. I felt very embarrassed but still gave her. This was an this was an immigration official ensuring I go through final immigration process before proceeding to the boarding gate. And then this one says some of them even have fixed price. It happens all the time on arrival and departure, especially customs and security people. This one from Kojo Barnabas says, you're serious? Oh, I'm a boat driver, but because of my dressing, sometimes they ask me for money. And then this one from Gideon Erastus says they requested change coins. They continue to do that. And this one, first experience traveling to Kumasi at the local terminal. This young man took me through the whole process, telling me if I had perfume above a certain weight, it will be seized, etc. He was helpful, so I gave him a tip willingly. Second experience traveling to Europe, immigration officer asked for a tip before stamping my Virgin passport. He said the amount I was giving him was too small, as he was of a high rank. He felt insulted and thus declined to take it. Hey, Sembini. This one too says, this is a daily routine by majority of the staff. You don't need to pull out this question, especially a lot of people go there and they've been through all of that. So a lot of messages coming in there on our Facebook page about what they have to face at the airports. Please, the customs or officer are all parts from Jojo in Tema. Hey, customs, they are Tamils crack or Tamils. They didn't listen to him, so
this is not a conversation we'll have only in a day or in 15 minutes. We are adding it to one of our priority conversations on the show.
Definitely.
So on the regular, we will have conversations on these extortionists and beggars and thieves who use their offices, their uniforms, and the authority we've given to them to make life inconvenient for us. And if you go anywhere and anybody demands a bribe from you, demands lunch from you, demands anything before they offer you a service, get their name, get their office, get their title, send to us. Let's name and shame and correct the system. Let's name and shame and correct the system.
The same thing the airport company limited is doing.
Yes.
I mean, they say that they've put out some phone numbers. People should reach out, call them, tell them about specific people who are demanding money at the airport. They want to crack down on this, and I really hope they carry it through, because the airport is the gateway to our country, and if people are coming in. I went to Nigeria once. It was crazy, and something of that sort is creeping to our airport. It must be stopped. If you are at Skipo, nobody watch your face and say, oh, what did you bring from Ghana? So why do you have to do that in Accra?
Anyway, Kwagu, the sustainability month, we are inside.
Yes.
And this morning we've had a sustainability conversation on the environment, on Galamsey. Sustainability is not just about tree planting, it's whether the systems we depend on actually last. So we are having conversations this month on how we can keep our lights on, how water will reach your bucket or your shower, how food that is supposed to nourish you actually nourish you and doesn't rot away. Our road should take us home instead of killing our lives, and we have these conversations coming up this month. Okay, why should we be dying on our roads? We'll be asking a lot of uncomfortable questions. That's the point for us. So stay tuned to the Super Morning Show throughout August for the Joy Sustainability Month, sponsored by MTN. The hashtag is Joy Sustains.
So Corporate Ghana, this is your invitation to the biggest sporting showdown of the year. On Saturday, 29th August, the University of Ghana Stadium comes alive as companies from across the country battle for bragging rights at the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament 2026. Whether you are scoring goals on the football pitch, stepping up for the CEO penalty shoot, showing your power in arm wrestling, racing in the lime and spoon or sack race, female penalty shootout, one thing is guaranteed: you will have an unforgettable day. And before the competition begins, you get your body moving with an exciting aerobic session for 6 a.m. So rally your colleagues, wear your company colors, and come and compete. This is brought to you by Toyota Superior Quality Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Abacon Services Bebre, Latex Foam, your partner for life. Minerals Commission, the regulator of the mining industry. The Joy Sports Invitational. Let's compete, connect, and celebrate the true spirits of corporate Ghana. I saw some message about how there's no light in Hohoi, whether it's low current or something. ECG should please check it out.
Hohoi.
Yeah,
Hohoi. Okay. Kwaku, it's been a good morning.
Yeah.
May the souls of the departed rest in peace. All the lives lost on the roads that we said we will fix, may they rest in peace. All people killed because of corruption, because people didn't do the right things, may they rest in peace. The lives lost to Galamsey, may they rest in peace. And as we continue to say people should rest in peace and it is well, we must actually do well, because that's the only way we can have the Ghana we want. My name is Kojo, Akoto Boateng. I've been here with Koku and the rest of the team.